And we are live. Hi everybody, thank you for coming. I really appreciate everybody being here. We should start soon going live with Craig with Fight the Flat Earth. He is graciously letting me start so far. Good to see you all. Thank you all for coming. He should start going live in about 2 minutes exactly. So good to see you all. Thank you all for coming. Hey Rachie, hey Gracious Calf, Michael Khan, Iron Horse, and PJ, and Paul Peterson, Kiki Seabass. Yeah, it's good to see you all here. I have to put up a poll. Saying science can't prove is pseudoscience. 18% say yes apparently, and 74% say no, and 9% say not sure. Sorry, it's playing somebody's playing in the background. Okay. So yeah, Fight Flat Earth's about to start. There we go, he's starting, so let's just sit back and listen to what he's got to say. But good to see you guys all here. I know it's... oh, and for Gracious Calf, I get my music from creatormix.com. It's from Nick Nimmin. Definitely well worth it. It's all free YouTube licensing, so you're allowed to use it all for YouTube.
Buffering issues.
Okay, it's dead quiet here, so I don't know. Yeah, so it's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. It's freezing. Why is it freezing on his side? Oh man. Why is it freezing? It's been doing this for the last 10 minutes, even when I just have something open on the side. So I don't know why. I think I'm gonna have to ask him to go onto Discord.
Close
floating through space with a tiny star.
Okay, I don't know why it's buffering the whole time, guys.
Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what I just did to the start of my live stream because my internet seems to be completely crapping out. And it's doing it again. If you can hear me, give me 1 minute, I'm going to reset my internet and be right back.
Okay, that's good news. At least it's not from my side. I was actually asking maybe we can do it on Discord. But if it's not from me, then I am fine with that. While he's transitioning, just want to say hi again, everybody. Please just do like the show and share the show. Tonight we're going to be discussing science. Does it prove things? Obviously, the only thing I'm making a claim on, science can only prove hypotheses. That's it. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be claiming. Science doesn't prove things, it just proves hypotheses. Because if you validate something that you tested a cause for, that means it's proven. But that's my stance on this thing. While we're waiting for Craig to come on, yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Thank you to my channel members and all my awesome subscribers. You guys all rock. If you don't know, I have launched a merchandise line. I'm still going to be putting more things on for you guys soon. And I do have a Patreon link, a Bitcoin link, and yeah, memberships. So if you guys would like to support me somehow, I really do appreciate it, as I am saving up for a proper microphone and webcam as we speak. So yeah, and then I'm going to get proper lighting and everything, because I want to have more professional look for you guys. It's good to see you. Hey Gunman, not one, good to see you. MC Scorpio one, good to see you, dude. Yeah, FTFE's been kind of busy today, so he's just literally been rushing to get this stream up and going. So I understand exactly how that happens, because even with me, sometimes I have to rush my ass off to get stuff. Katie Quirk, oh yes, the merchandise. Yeah, I'm sorry that you get jealous that you can't actually sell merchandise, Katie. I actually get people that ask me for the merchandise. That's why I did it. If you guys have any ideas on what you would like on the merchandise, hit me up and I can sort that out for you guys. Let's just hope we get FTFE sorted out soon. Let's see, it's still going. As you can see, it's still just buffering. Illegal Opinions, I'm glad you're enjoying my channel. It's you guys that make this channel possible, so I just have to say thank you. We just take it as it is. Let's hope there's still going to be a show on tonight. Oh man. Otherwise we can always just reschedule it, and then yeah, maybe we can listen to what Q and them are saying on Ballbusters, because they are having quite an epic thing as well with me and Witset's show talk at the moment, so that's also quite cool. And then further developments, I know McToon wants to debate me as well, so we'll see what McToon says. Do you guys like the layout? Is it not too much or something? Because I'm still working on the layout to make it as good as I can. Not gonna say, I'm trying my best. Spinning in space, Jeff. Exactly, spinning in space. Let's see where the poll is sitting. Saying science can't prove is pseudoscience. 22% say yes, 68% say no, and 10% say not sure. That's after 41 votes. I have to just congratulate everybody and say thank you for voting so much on the polls. We get very high amount of votes for such a small channel, so I really do appreciate it. I mean, look at the amount of votes we had yesterday with Sean Hawkins and Brian Leake's debate. To me, I thought that was quite a successful debate, even though there were some technical difficulties. But it's because of you guys that makes it a success. So thank you once again. Debates are just so worn. Debates are just so he won. No, I won. There's no such thing as winning or losing in a debate. It's literally just to get your point across, and then it's for the audience to decide if they take the information you presented as logical thought or not. That's all. Debates don't actually have winners or losers. So when someone says it's got a winner or loser, They're actually just ignorant to what a debate actually is. So now, yeah, I see it's not showing. Wow. What is that showing actually? Let me just widen the error occurred. Please try again later. I think he might have to send a new link. Oh wow. Sorry that everybody showed up to nothing at the moment. Even his Zoom is showed. Yeah, it's frozen. So we'll just wait and see if he does come up or not. Okay, I need to reset my internet. 2 minutes. Sorry, 2 minutes. I'm just resetting my internet. No stress. Okay, give me 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, I know exactly how it feels to have technical difficulties, especially when it's live. It really, really sucks. Okay. Surrogate. Science means knowledge. Yes. And the whole point of the scientific method is to prove a hypothesis true or false. Exactly, because you validate it or invalidate it. The three basic laws of thought, logic, and basis for science. 100% agree. That's the reason I state and I make a claim. Science can only prove hypothesis because it validates it or invalidates it. It's an empirical method. It has no care about someone's objective opinions. Yes, I keep getting mixed up between subjective and objective, but as far as I know, I think science is objective, or is it subject? No, I think science is subjective. I got confused the other night again with this. I don't know why. It's just something I keep getting confused. I get mixed up with the two, based on influence of personal feelings. So it's no, science is objective because subjective is based on influence by person's feelings. Science is objective, people. Okay. Now that we've cleared that up, we know science is objective. Maybe I can get it into my head. Objective. I don't know, Michael. We'll just have to wait and see. I know. I don't think Craig will actually do this because it's also his lifeblood. He gets paid for this as his own money. So I mean, he needs the content. So I don't know. But anyway, what did you guys think of the debate last night against Sean and Brian Lee? Did you guys think it was a success? Did you enjoy it? Because the stats actually showed it was quite a good stream for me. It was one of my best streams so far since I've started doing live streams, so I think it was a success. Yeah. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed, all the new subscribers. You guys rock. Hey, Shatners Bassoon, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Gracious Cole, sometimes when I'm not so busy, we'll close with class, just let have a chill conversation, not debate it, just talking about things. Exactly, Gracious. Sometimes a person just needs to sit and chat. You don't need to debate things out. I'm not really that much of a debater. I mean, I've debated now and then, but it's just, I still enjoy debating because, I mean, one of my interests is debating. So like modern day debates, do you guys subscribe to modern day debates if you haven't already? They have some great debates on there. I download their debates daily so I can listen to it at work, just like Flat Earth Debates, FED, Nathan Oakley and them. Also do guys, I'm sure all of you have already anyway subscribed to them. I download them daily so I can listen to them at work, because it's just nice to have listening to the debates and everything in the background, what's going on and the different opinions and beliefs of people. So it's just something that interests me, and that's how I go on. It's quite cool. Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Yes, I'm glad you guys agree. I am trying to be chill and reasonable. I'm not here to be against anybody to say, and what can I say? I want people to get their side of the story out in their opinion, and I'm not going to ridicule on purpose, you know what I mean? Let's just say, even me and Craig had a conversation before this. We don't take it personally against each other. It's just part of the globe versus FE structure. So when he does make fun of me, I don't take it personal, just like he doesn't take it personal with me. So it's just part of the structure, and hey, that's life. So even Mr. Sensible and stuff, they know I don't take it personal, just like I'm sure they don't take anything personal with me, even though opinions are strong, we say our mind. It's just we don't really have. I know from my side, I don't put ego in the way. So if they're going to say something, it's like, hey, that's their opinion kind of thing. Hey, Derek Nelson, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Oh man, I hope he comes on soon. It's difficult just to talk about nothing, especially when you have something planned. I mean, I have so much citations and references and things set out for my presentation and stuff. So I really hope he gets it going. Let's see if he said something in. Okay, he set up a new Zoom meeting, but I'm going to research his thing on YouTube again because I'm putting his YouTube page on. Oh, but I need to open Zoom. Yes, open Zoom meetings. Launch meeting. Okay. Join with video. Let's see what he says. If it's going to work now. Ba 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 da ba. And there we go. Can you hear me? Okay, I don't think he. See, I'm not muted, but he can't hear me. Let's see if I can search him to put his. Okay, he's live now. I'm just going to mute his sound because we don't need his sound on YouTube though, because I'm going to be using YouTube as the main thing on here. Sorry, just gotta quickly set up the OBS debate. Okay, stream properties. OBS is so much work there when it comes to this, guys. It's crazy. Is it showing? No, it's not showing, so I have to remove it, and then I'm going to place it again. Browse FTFE YouTube stream. Oh man.
Quick question. Can you do social media on your Huawei phone?
Can you?
Oh, but of course.
You're stuck in a taxi or a bus. All you have to do is go to the app gallery, download my Netflix, Spotify, and jam all the way.
Kan jy Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram of Gmail download op jou nuwe Huawei phone? Natuurlijk, chom.
And remember, if you happen to get lost, there's
Sorry, I
Google
can't
Maps
skip the
and
ads,
so
guys.
much more. Why not just go to the app gallery
Hakuna
and
Matata.
download them
How's it
all?
going?
It rhymes. There's so much more. Why not just go to the app gallery?
You need to get YouTube Pro, dude.
It rhymes. There's so much more. Why not just go to the app gallery?
You need to get YouTube Pro, dude.
It rhymes.
Can you hear me, Flatzoid?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, there's a lot of echo going on there.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to quickly silence you.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just quickly trying to silence you.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback from you.
Audio filters. Just quickly trying to silence you. Audio filters. Man, this is a mess up of a. Man, this is a mess up of a. How do I mute on the?
I'm not sure what's happening there.
How do I mute on OBS for you?
I'm not sure what's happening there. I think he's having issues separating Zoom from his stream on OBS.
Okay, he's got Zoom up here.
I think he's having issues separating Zoom from his stream on OBS. It's something that we've all had
He's got
issues
Zoom
with.
up here.
I think he's having issues separating Zoom from his stream.
I can't pick up his Zoom anymore.
It's something that we've all had
Oh, there we go.
Ow.
Can,
Yeah,
can
I'd
you
like to
hear
mute
me?
that because there's lots of feedback. Yeah, Rick Sanchez says, I broke everything. I broke the internet and then I broke Flatzoid.
Yeah, he broke me. I don't know if you guys can see this. Wow, this is kind of just not working. And I had it all set up fine, and now it's not working. Sorry guys, I am trying. Can you guys see this on the screen. I don't know if it will show like that if I do it. Let's go see your channel. Let's see if it's showing that way. I'm just gonna wait for the adverts to pass again. Sorry guys, this is kind of getting slow into it because this, okay, it's not showing up there. So how do I get that showing now there? Oh man. Ugh. This is just not. Maybe window capture, Skype, Zoom. So guys, I kind of taught myself Chrome, Zoom. Okay, is it showing? I don't know if it's showing. Yeah, tech. We'll go back into YouTube quickly, check if it's showing there. Oh man. If you guys have just joined, sorry, there's some technical issues. I was all set up and then Fighter Flat Earth got it somehow mixed up, and then all of a sudden now I'm having issues after he had issues. Ah, man, oh man. I'm gonna ask him if he can go on. I'm asking if he can Discord chat. Maybe that will work because this Zoom is just not working. So then I'll just stick his logo in there. It's going to be much better than Zoom, remove, and then I can just add his logo there. Let's see, display, go media source, here we go. Okay, browse, downloads. Oh man. Okay, I can't seem to find his logo now. No, but that's a media source, that's why I got the wrong one. Okay, let's see what it says with Discord. Can you Discord chat? How do I call on Discord? There we go. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Ah,
Yes.
there we go. Oh man, what a mission! I can't get Zoom to work.
It seems to me like you're separating the audio stream from the input. I'm also getting echo now.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can't get Zoom to do nothing there.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna so we can chat through Discord. Then is that fine? And then I'll just stick your logo on my screen.
Yeah, but I'm getting echo through Discord of myself.
Oh, I'm getting nothing. To me, it sounds perfect.
1 second. Testing, testing. Right, now I need to bring your audio from Discord through. Okay. Now give me 1 second.
This is a hectic start. Ah man. Okay.
Apparently the audio doesn't want to come through from Discord. Output device cable A. Cable A is on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
There we go. Done.
Okay.
Sorted.
Okay, so we're up and running at least. Yes.
Yes.
What a mission.
I do apologize. As soon as I hit stream, my internet turned off. I have no idea why. It just died.
No stress. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do seem to still be getting a little bit of feedback of myself.
I don't know what.
That I'm hearing what you're putting out back. If I speak quieter, it doesn't do it. I'll just try and keep my register as low as possible.
Must I maybe put the volume down a touch? Maybe this will help. So
Yeah.
changes the threshold a bit. Is this a bit better?
Okay. It sounds good to me.
Okay.
I can hear you. You can hear me. My stream can hear you, and your stream can hear me. Yes.
Yes. Then that's fine.
Excellent,
As long
right.
as we can hear each other.
So, science, huh?
Yeah. What is science?
Yeah. So interesting. It's a study, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still getting that echo back of me.
Yeah, it's perfect on my side. I'm not getting any echo.
Yeah. What I'm hearing back is myself through your microphone.
Okay. Maybe. Let me do it this way. Because I don't have any earphones with me. My children broke my earphones. I'm just going to try and put your...
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, so it's got the echo through the TV. Okay, is this a bit better?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, yeah, I just put
Yeah,
your
I'm
soft
not getting
down.
any echo back now.
Okay.
Okay. So, just before we get to science, can I ask you a question about Professor Dave?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you accept that I was right that he is a professor?
I said technically he's not a professor, like I told you today, because he was a lecturer before he got his master's. He obviously, I conceded he got his master's now in 2018 that I saw today. But you would have to first have your master's, then you go to become a lecturer, then you become a professor. And he's not lecturing at the moment at any place, is he?
So in America, to be classed as a professor, you simply have to have taught at college. That's it. That's the only criteria to be a professor.
Yeah, in America, I looked it up, you have to have a degree. At least you have to have a degree, and then you can be professing at a community college. But that's
or
about
even
it.
high school, technically, in America.
But like I said, it's
So
technically,
he's never... So when flat earthers say he's lying about being a professor, that's not true, because he is a professor by all definitions of what he does, teaching at college level. Regardless of his education, he is a professor.
That's what I say, technically he's not, because he's not lecturing at any institution. So he's not a professor. You have to literally lecture at institution at the highest
But
degree
he has done.
of
He
his
has.
field.
He has lectured at colleges, and therefore he is a professor.
Remember, he lectured before he got his degree, so he was not a professor.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I say, technically
like I
he's
said,
not.
In America, you don't. It doesn't matter what the qualifications are. As long
Okay,
as
that's
you have
America.
taught at college, you are classed as a professor.
Okay, so we'll just both say, I'm going to say on a technical aspect, he's not professor though, but I'll concede he's got the qualifications to be a professor, if he had to go and walk and become a lecturer now.
But the thing is, that what I'm saying is the fact that he taught at college at all, that's what makes him a professor. It doesn't matter if he had a master's or not. The fact that he taught at college is by definition what makes him a professor.
Okay, but like I say, we can agree to disagree. On a technical aspect, he could be, but that's in America. But as far as I know, the way you need to get to become a professor, he hasn't filled that criteria.
I mean, individual countries' definitions are very different. That's something that we can both agree on.
100%.
Right? Okay, right. It's just interesting. So many flat earthers say, "Oh, you're not a professor," when he is. But anyway, Professor Dave out of the way. Science. The main point of this is that I say that science doesn't prove things. There literally is no such thing as scientific proof, and you guys very much disagree with that, right?
No, not actually. I think you maybe got a misunderstanding. We don't say science proves. The only thing science can prove is a hypothesis. That's it. Because it either validates it or invalidates it. That means it proves the hypothesis. That's all science can prove.
No. It disproves. Science tries to disprove a hypothesis.
Which means
science doesn't try to prove a hypothesis, it tries to disprove it. And if it doesn't disprove it, that's it. There's no proof in science.
What's the
Whether it's a
antithesis?
hypothesis or not, there just is no such thing as proof in any part of the scientific process.
What is the antithesis of proof, of disprove?
The antithesis of disprove is proof, but science doesn't prove, it disproves. That's the aim of science, is to try and disprove things. And if it doesn't disprove things, then we accept that. But the thing about science is that it's transitional. Science never claims to be complete. There's no, be all and end all. This is the answer. This is how it is. Because the next day, someone can come along with a better theory that's a better explanation and a better understanding, which means that nothing was ever proved. It was you can disprove something. You can say it's not this. This is what we think it is, and here's all the evidence to suggest it. But within science, there just simply is no such thing as proof.
You would agree that the scientific method is empirical?
Empirical in the sense that you can do observations. Empirical evidence can be part of the scientific method. Yeah.
Okay, so you do understand what the word empirical means and evidence.
Yeah, and that's why I said that the scientific part of the scientific method can be presenting empirical evidence.
So then it can be proven, because that is what evidence means, to prove. And empirical.
No, evidence doesn't mean to prove, and empirical doesn't mean prove either. Where did you get the empirical means prove?
I'm going to share my screen. Would you be able to see me sharing my screen?
Through Discord, not sure. Hold on.
Let's see if it's showing. Okay. Yeah, I'm not on Discord. I'm on YouTube though, so it might be difficult.
Can you share your screen to Discord, and I can bring that through?
I can try. Let me just quickly just.
Yeah. So the thing is, I mean, you can try and talk about the definitions of words and stuff all you want, but that doesn't change what science itself actually does. And I've got countless citations that there is no such as scientific proof.
Would you concede if I can show you at least one that says there is scientific proof?
Depends which one it is. If it's one that's been corrected, which I think it is, then you would have to use the latest citation from that thing, yeah?
Okay, but anyway, I'll get to that still. I'm just trying to get quickly...
Let me...
Because I actually set up a whole... I was going to do a presentation kind of thing. But let's see. But we didn't work out any debate structure, so that's fine. You can see my screen, correct?
Give me just 1 second. I'm going to bring through what you're showing. Make that full screen. Okay, right, yeah, your screen's up.
Okay, so you can see it's showing their scientific method.
Yeah.
Okay, so just quickly, it's just a method procedure that has characterized natural science since the 17th century, consisting of systematic observation. We all know you have to observe something to actually have an hypothesis to create. You understand that? Because your first step is...
Yeah, I very much understand the scientific method, being that I've done a degree in physics.
Okay.
So yeah.
And your experiment will either validate or invalidate the hypothesis. You agree with that?
Yeah, not prove. Yeah, invalidate or validate. That's not prove. Those are different words.
Let's first go to empirical. Empirical means based on observation or experience, so that means, yes, you've observed it. Being verified or disproved by observation or experiment. So you would agree empiricism has nothing to do with anybody's worldview and opinions. It's simply just an empirical, it's either A or B. It gets verified or it gets disproved. You agree with that?
That's not what it means. It means that it's capable of being verified or disproved. And you notice that it doesn't say proved or disproved.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's only, that's what it means. It's capable of being verified or disproved. There's no in between. You would agree?
Yeah, but there's no... Yeah,
that's what empiricism means.
Proved, right? It says verified. You agree with that?
But you understand what verified means?
Yeah, it means verified. It doesn't mean proved, it means verified.
Okay, so you say we have evidence when we use science. It gives us evidence to lead to something false.
Yeah.
Okay.
Science is all about evidence, not proof. Yeah.
Okay, so the available body of facts. That means evidence is a fact or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. Okay, so we understand that?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. Presenting evidence is a thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what does validation mean? That's what a hypothesis does. It validates or disproves. The action of checking or proving, see that? Proving the validity of the accuracy of something.
Yeah, okay, so what you're doing here is just using words and definitions and semantics. What I asked for is citations.
I'm still going to get...
Science proves things.
I'm still going to get there.
Right?
I just have to first lay the...
This is what flat earthers do all the time, is they just go through words and, you know, the words have different meanings and it can mean this and it can mean that, but in science they have specific meanings.
That's why I'm bringing those meanings up for you.
Natural in science doesn't mean what natural means in vernacular usage, right? So when you're looking at these words, what you should be doing is searching for what does validation mean in science or within the scientific method, not just the general meaning of the word. What we should do is stick to citations about science from, well, hopefully .edu sites.
Validation in science has been defined as the process in which reliability and relevance of a particular approach, method, process, or assessment is established for a defined purpose. Okay, let's go see what it says there.
So, do you know what logical positivity is? Wait, wrong word. Logical positivism is.
Just explain it to me.
Do you know? Well, that was when they used to believe that science proves, right? Like before the 1900s. You know, that was the method of science back then. It was called logical positivism, which was when they did say that science proves. But even the main the main person that pushes that said that it isn't a thing anymore after he finished writing his book on it. What was his name? Sorry. Yeah, logical positivism was when they used to think that science proved, and the main proponent of logical positivism was A.J. Ayers, and even he, after writing a book on it, said that he's wrong and science doesn't prove, and we've moved past that way of thinking. And science very specifically now says that it does not prove. You know, so do you have like citations from a scientist or from .edu sites and stuff that says specifically that science is in the business of proving?
Don't worry,
or could I maybe present the, you know, maybe 15 citations that I've got that say that it doesn't?
Don't worry, we're still getting there. That's why I'm first laying the foundations of what the words mean. There's a whole reason why I'm first laying the words up front.
Yeah, but what you're doing is laying the foundations of what words mean colloquial, right? What would be handy is if you could maybe search for what the words mean within science, rather than just looking up the definition of words, which, as we all know, language is a very fluid thing and means different things in different contexts.
So, falsify, to prove a statement or theory to be false. The hypothesis is falsified by the evidence. That you would say is not scientific.
No, it says the hypothesis is falsified by the evidence. It doesn't say the hypothesis is proven.
That's the antithesis of falsify. Karl Popper, the falsification principle proposed by Karl Popper.
What I just said to you, what you're doing is you're just using words and definitions and circular reasoning of the way that language is fluid. What we need is citations from scientists and science websites and science educational things that talk about science. Can you present that, or are you just gonna, you know, do the normal flat earther thing of trying to use definitions of words to meet your purpose?
I'm trying to get there, but you're not giving me a chance. Like I said, I first have to lay the foundation so you know that the words have meanings.
I will accept the foundations that you're laying if you search specifically for what they mean in science, not just colloquial.
They are not colloquial definitions, it's scientific definitions. Are you telling me falsification means something else just because it's not saying science
it doesn't
falsification?
mean prove, does it? It's falsifying it, not proving it. That's the opposite.
That's what falsification means, to disprove or prove. Look here, This is.
Falsify means disprove, not prove. You don't prove
Can
it.
a
you
hypothesis
falsify it,
be
which
proven wrong?
disproves it.
Can a hypothesis?
You do not prove a hypothesis. There's no way to prove a hypothesis. That is literally impossible.
Okay. If you have a hypothesis, you have a null, correct?
Yeah.
So, do you prove the one and disprove the other one? Because you cannot have them
All you
both
do
proven or
is-
both
all you
disproven.
do is
They
try to
have to
disprove the
prove. One has to be
hypothesis, that's it.
proven.
Okay. So, can you just get to the part where you show me the citations that science proves,
We'll get
rather
there.
than just going round it with words?
But that's what I'm trying to get
Or
there.
maybe I could just show you the one citation that will end this.
Okay, we'll get there now. Like I'm saying, you have a hypothesis and you have your null hypothesis. It's either A or it's B. You've heard this before. If you've disproved the one, you have validated the other one, aka you've proven the null. If you've
No.
proven the null,
You just changed the words.
You've
You
invalid-
just changed the word. It's not
Validation
proven.
means
It's
prove.
validated. That's not proven. That's a different word. Use the words that are there, not the words that you would like to use.
Validation means proven.
Yeah, so stick with that word, not the other word that you want it to mean.
Validation involves performing laboratory tests to verify that the particular instrument software programming. Okay, that's just technical science,
Yeah.
and that's not actual natural
So
science.
once again,
What?
stop with the definitions and the circular reasoning around words and the fluidity of language, right? And get to the citations that say specifically that science proves.
If you let me get there, I'll get there. But like I say, if you can show me one word how about you show me a citation where validation does not mean proven? How's that sound?
No, that's not my claim. I'm
That
just saying
is your
that
claim.
science
You
doesn't
saying
prove.
I can show you result after result saying validation means prove. I've just showed it on screen a few times. You
Science
telling me,
does
you
not
making a
prove.
claim,
It's as simple as
you
that.
making a claim telling me it does not. You going against
Yeah,
what it
because there
says.
is literally no such thing as scientific proof, right?
Okay.
So, which what do you want? Do you want Berkeley?
From scientific-
Or do you want Harvard?
I'm on a
which
site.
educational part thing do you want that will disprove you?
I'm on a-
'Cause Berkeley's a good school.
I'm on-
Harvard's an even better one, to be fair.
Scientific evidence relies on data, and it is critical for
State.
researchers to ensure that the data they collect is representative of the true situation. This means using proved or appropriate ways to collecting and analyzing the data and ensuring the research is conducted ethically and safely.
Where is this from?
This is from
Theconversation.com. Lovely. Can we see maybe a .edu site instead of just a website written by some dude?
Academic Skills. Hypothesis. In simple terms, a hypothesis is the answer to your
Which
casual
website
question.
is this?
A hypothesis should be based on a strong rationale that is usually supported by background research. From the question about sparrow nests, you might hypothesize sparrows use grasses in their nests rather than twigs, because grasses are the more abundant material in the habitat. The abundance hypothesis might be supported by your prior knowledge about the availability of nest building materials, i.e. grasses are more abundant than the twigs. Then you have your
So
prediction.
could you show me the before you move on from that, could you point out where in that part of the hypothesis it says prove for me?
I didn't say it said proven yet, did I?
Your claim is that you prove the hypothesis. Where does it say there that you prove the hypothesis?
You made the claim that a hypothesis cannot be proven.
Yeah, because you don't prove hypothesis, you disprove hypothesis. That's what science does.
Antithesis of disprove means prove. No matter how hard you want
no.
it to mean something else.
Again, disprove is not prove. That's another word. You disprove something, you don't prove it. That's why it can be changed. Science, you do understand that science is transitional, right?
No, pseudoscience is transitional.
Oh, no. Science is transitional. Who told you that science... Oh, okay, right.
It's an empirical method.
gonna-
It's an empirical method. Science is a method. There's no such thing.
It's transitional as well.
You can.
Science is literally
Do
transitional.
you want to test it out quickly, Craig? Should we test the hypothesis out quickly?
Would you like me to start showing
Should we
citations
test the
that actually
hypothesis
say
out?
science doesn't
Should
prove,
we
or do you
test
not
the
want me to get to those?
Sure, come on. Should we test the hypothesis out quickly? Then you can show me how you can change it.
What do you do before you test the hypothesis?
I'm asking you a
This
simple
is the-
question. Yes or no? Shall we test the hypothesis out quickly?
Well, that depends what the prediction would be from the hypothesis.
Oh, so now you're actually going against your word that you're saying you can change it. If it's validated, it's validated. That means
No, I
proven.
never said. When did I say? Nice gaslighting attempt there, Flatzoid. I never said that in the slightest.
You said it 2 seconds ago.
Just so we know we're on the same page. What is the next step after hypothesis in the scientific method?
Well, you have to do the prediction and experiment, then analysis, and then a report.
So you agree that prediction is part of the scientific method?
After hypothesis, yeah.
That's funny because you told me it wasn't last time.
No, I said prediction
fact,
is
you
actually
sent
in
me
the
an email
hypothesis.
specifically
I said
telling me
prediction.
how stupid I was because I said
Prediction is in the hypothesis. Way to misrepresent me. Prediction is actually
Sorry?
in the hypothesis. You know why? Because you're predicting the cause of the effect.
Yeah. But my point here, Flatzoid, is that you said exactly the opposite last time we
No,
spoke.
I did not. You are misrepresenting my words. Again,
No. You
a
told me
hypothesis.
that
What I said
prediction is
was,
part of the
Craig,
hypothesis.
what I said was the hypothesis actually is the prediction. It's pseudoscience. It's pseudoscience to say you have a prediction actually after the hypothesis. That was my point.
No, because that is the scientific method.
Okay.
It's you have the hypothesis.
Let's put it
and
this.
from the
I'm going to do this
hypothesis,
again with you.
then form
I'm going to
the
do this again
prediction.
with you, Craig. If I have an IV, is that my predicted cause?
Of the hypothesis, yes, but you
Prediction,
don't,
thank
the
you. So your
isn't the
hypothesis
prediction.
is-
You then take your hypothesis and you use that to form a prediction. Your hypothesis isn't your prediction.
Sorry, a cause is a prediction, is it not?
No. Again, your hypothesis is not your prediction. They are separate things. Your hypothesis is something, and in your hypothesis you say, well, I think this particular IV causes this particular DV. This is what I hypothesize. The next thing you do is you go, well, if that's true, then this will happen.
Obviously, that's
And
what
you
I was
form
trying.
a prediction. You form a prediction based on your hypothesis, but your hypothesis is not your prediction. And I can actually present a citation saying specifically that the hypothesis and prediction are different things.
Craig, again, misrepresenting what I said. I said prediction comes after hypothesis, but you still got prediction in your hypothesis. That's why I said you're misrepresenting what I'm saying.
That's literally not what you said. You argued with me specifically that there is no separate prediction. That was your exact words. We had a long argument about
I said the hypothesis
You laughed
is
at
the
me.
prediction.
You laughed at me several times. You laughed at me several times when I said no, you form a prediction from your hypothesis.
You do.
But now you're agreeing that you have your hypothesis and then you
Show
form
me a
a
prediction
Is that
without
right?
hypothesis, Craig. Please show me a prediction without hypothesis.
Nice gaslighting.
You just said it 2 seconds
Listen to
ago.
the-
You are
listen
the
to
one
words.
making up.
You have your listen.
Stop
to the
straw
words,
manning
hold on.
me.
Listen
Stop
to the words
making
coming
straw
out of my
man
mouth,
arguments.
Right? You listen to the words coming out of my mouth, Flatzoid. You have your hypothesis, and from your hypothesis, you form a prediction.
What I just said. You have your prediction in your hypothesis, thus gives you your prediction.
the opposite
If you
of
don't
what I
have a
said.
hypothesis, you cannot have a prediction. That's the whole point. Do you
Yes,
get
but your hypothesis and prediction are separate things. Do you understand this?
Yes, but you do not have a prediction without it in your hypothesis. That's what the IV is there for.
No. Again, you're squishing them together. The hypothesis isn't the prediction. You have your hypothesis, and then you use your hypothesis to form a prediction.
Okay, are we going to quickly test the hypothesis out so I can show you that you either prove or
Wait,
disprove?
what is your hypothesis?
Okay, water boils because of heat energy.
Water boils because of heat energy. We could
At 1
agree.
atmospheric. Let's say
Well,
1
the
atmosphere.
water boils because of the transfer of heat energy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's not the only reason, but okay. What's your
But this is
there?
this is just that hypothesis. The cause is heat energy transference, and the DV would be water boiling. You would agree with that?
So the IV is heat energy transference, and the DV is the water boiling.
Yeah.
Okay,
At one-
right. So what's your prediction?
The water will boil when I've added heat energy transfer.
Okay, that's just your hypothesis. You need a different prediction.
I predicted it will boil I did the test, it boiled when I did it. Haha, that's
Yeah, but
prediction.
your prediction's the same as the hypothesis there, and according to
Okay,
science,
would you
your
give me a
is
prediction then
separate
for
to
that
your
hypothesis? Would you
all
give me
you're
a
doing there is you're taking your hypothesis and going straight to experiment. You haven't actually made the prediction.
Prediction comes after experiment.
No, prediction does not come after experiment. Who told you that? How can prediction come after experiment?
You're actually right.
when
Yeah, I said it wrong there.
You do your experiment to test your prediction.
Which is in the hypothesis.
Okay.
That's
listen
what I'm
to
trying
the words
to-
that are coming out of my mouth. The hypothesis and the prediction are separate things. They are not
I
the
know.
same thing.
Craig, again.
Your prediction is not in your hypothesis. You
It
use
is.
your hypothesis to form a separate prediction.
That's why I'm telling you. That's how we're testing it. I'm giving you the hypothesis now.
But
Please do a prediction.
There was the
Craig,
hypothesis.
Craig,
You haven't
listen to me. Listen to me. Do a prediction now based on my hypothesis, please.
Well, your hypothesis was that if you apply heat energy, then water will boil, right?
Yeah.
So then you could say, well, if that's the case, then I predict that as a certain amount of heat energy is applied, then I will get steam as a result of the boiling,
Nice.
right?
But that's
You
what
can agree-
boiling
You
is.
can agree that when water boils, steam happens.
That's what
okay?
boiling is. It's
Right.
vapor. That's what boiling is.
Right? But what about the variables that you're not controlling for?
I didn't state any controls in the hypothesis, did I? But you usually do state control variables.
What the hypothesis needs
That's
to
what the
control
prediction's there for, to state the control variables.
So what was your control variable in your hypothesis?
You kept it at 1 atmospheric pressure.
Right. So so your hypothesis is actually at 1 atmospheric pressure, water will boil when I apply heat energy.
False.
Right?
False. Only 1 IV. You don't get 2 IVs. That's a control. 1 atmospheric pressure is a control. It's not
the
an
control
IV.
is that we're at 1 atmospheric pressure. So that's the control. We're at 1 atmospheric pressure, right? Right. So what you can actually let's go on from that and go to the prediction, right? You could say that, well, if I change the atmospheric pressure, then it's going to change where it boils. So your prediction could be the amount of heat energy that you have to apply to make it boil. So if we're sticking at 1 atmospheric pressure, right? Then your prediction would have to be something like, I will apply X amount of energy to make the water boil in X amount of time, right?
But that's just a new hypothesis.
And then that's something that you can perform an experiment on, right?
That's a
So
new
that
hypothesis,
you can then get an
Craig.
experiment
You haven't-
to test that.
Why have
Yeah.
you moved away from my hypothesis that I've already created?
I haven't moved away from your hypothesis.
You have. You're giving new.
Your
You're giving
hypothesis
new.
is that your hypothesis is water boils when you add heat energy, right?
Yeah.
Which means that the prediction that you can make from that would be something like, okay, so if I apply X amount of heat energy, the water will boil in X amount of time.
So a new hypothesis.
No, that's the prediction formed from your
Another
hypothesis.
hypothesis. You adding extra
No, that's
variables.
a prediction
Craig.
formed from your hypothesis. Right.
Yeah,
Let's talk it through again, right? Your hypothesis is that water boils when you apply heat energy. Yes?
Yes, that's the hypothesis. Finished.
So, a prediction from that would be something like you apply X amount of heat energy to get an X reaction in a certain amount of
So,
time.
another
That is
hypothesis.
a specific predict. No, it's not a hypothesis.
Your
That's
new-
a prediction. You're predicting. Listen.
Your new
don't interrupt me when I'm
IV
talking.
your
You
new-
are predicting that something will happen based on your hypothesis. Your hypothesis is that heat energy makes water boil. So you make a prediction on that. Well, if that's the case, if I apply this amount of heat energy, the water will boil this quickly. That is something that you can then perform an experiment on, because that's the point of the prediction, right? You've
That's
got
another
certain
hypothesis.
parameters now that you can actually test that is formed specifically from your hypothesis.
So you would agree then your control variables is your prediction in your hypothesis.
The control variables is your prediction in your hypothesis. The control variable,
'Cause that's what you're stating
said
now.
was the 1 atmospheric
Because
pressure.
that's what, yeah, but you are stating extra controls now to get the desired result.
That's because in your prediction, you have to predict that something will happen. Specifically. Now,
So,
the prediction,
what
like
does
I
a
said, is
hypothesis
that,
do?
well,
Does it
if my hypothesis is that heat energy applies, then that means that if X heat energy is applied to this, the water will boil in X amount of time. Now, let's make an experiment to test that.
So that's a
And
new
then
hypothesis.
that would disprove or not disprove your hypothesis, right?
So, in other words, we have validated the null, or we've had validated the hypothesis, correct?
Yeah, no proof.
What? So we've disproved the null, or we've disproved the hypothesis, correct?
Disprove, yeah, that's what science does, it disproves.
Great. What's the antithesis of
Right.
disprove, or what it does
Okay,
validate
we're
mean?
not talking about antithesis, we're just talking about the actual words, because language is fluid, and we're going to talk about
Okay,
what science
now I'm
says,
going to
not
tell
what
you,
we think
Craig.
language says.
Now I'm going to tell
How
you.
about we just get straight to the...
Okay, wait, Craig, don't
Right,
run away.
let's go to
Don't run
Harvard,
away.
shall we?
I'm busy. No, don't run
Right.
away from this. We'll get
Because
there now.
what you're doing, like,
Don't
what you're
run
doing
away.
is you're dancing around.
You know
you're
where
trying
we're
to say
getting.
your-
That's why
your-
you're running.
your
You're running because
hypothesis
you
is
know
your
what I'm getting to.
prediction.
Guys,
Hold on,
this is
hold on,
Craig running
hold on.
away because I'm trying to get into pin down.
I'm
So,
not running, I'm trying to talk to you.
you're trying to move to citations now. Wait. We're
Yes,
still
because
busy.
that's what we're doing with this, right?
Wait.
What
I'm
we're
telling
gonna
you
do-
to
What we're
wait.
going to do is...
FTFE,
hold on.
wait.
What we're going to do is we're going to stop... Right, stop 1 sec. Give me a chance. Let's just stop the dancing around and just get to the meat of it, okay? Show me a citation that says science proves.
You can wait with the citation so we can just quickly get to the crux of the argument.
Okay, what I'll do is
You-
I'll just show my citation.
Can you let...
Okay?
Or you
So,
can just...
we're gonna
why are you
talk
ignoring
about,
me, Craig? Why are you
from
running away
Harvard
from this?
EDU.
Guys, is this what you
I'm
call honesty?
I'm just disproving you right now.
No,
all right?
you
done
know
with the
where this is
dancing around.
heading, Craig.
I'm done with
Guys,
just
this
listen.
is what
I'm done
happens
with the
when a
dancing
guy
around.
knows
I'm
he's
done with the
cornered.
semantics,
Then he has to
right?
move away from the
So-
crux of the
so-
argument.
Will you listen for 1 second?
You're
Just
not
listen for
listening,
1
you're
second.
running.
I'm done with dancing around. I'm done with the semantics. Let's just get to the meat of it.
That's what I'm trying to
I'm going
do.
to show a citation right now to prove that you are wrong.
Again, we'll get to the
Alright.
citation now. We're busy with a certain
We're
part
doing
of the
citation
argument,
right now,
Craig.
Okay.
Fight the
So
flat
here we go.
earth. Please
From
do listen.
Harvard.edu. Right.
I'm
Flatzoid,
not-
Just listen.
No,
Flatzoid,
we're not
just
moving
listen.
on until you've actually... We're not moving on until you've actually
Flatzoid, will you just
finished
listen?
the point. No, I'm not listening
Just
till you
for 2
finish the
minutes.
point.
Just-
You are
just be
running
a big
away
boy
from a
and
very
just listen.
critical point.
Right?
Guys,
We've done enough dancing around.
this
Let's
is the
just get to
obfuscation
it.
tactics from these
Here
guys.
is my
This is-
citation that proves you are wrong. Okay?
Again.
This is from Harvard.edu. Okay?
Again.
And we're going to read it.
First,
right?
you can wait
We're
with
gonna
the
read-
citation so you can first answer what I wanted to
We're done
ask
with
you.
dancing around, and we're
You're the
going
one
to
dancing
read
away
this
from the point,
citation
Craig.
from Harvard University.
This is sad.
About
This
scientific
is really
proof,
sad,
okay?
guys. This is sad. This is
Are
the...
you scared? Are you scared
You
to see
are-
the citation?
I'm
about
telling you, wait
scientific
2
proof?
seconds with the citation. You can show 500 citations, Craig, as long as you can just listen
what
to
you're
what I'm
doing
saying.
is
Yeah.
you're saying you're scared to see the citation about scientific proof.
No, you can wait until I've made the point, then you can show citation because you're
I'm just gonna
obfuscating
read the
away
citation
from the
about
crux
scientific
of the
proof,
argument
right?
because you
So
know
the-
you cornered.
So give me 5 minutes. Don't talk, right? And then you can try and rebut what the Harvard University has said.
Or you
okay?
can first
If you
finish
can
our
rebut Harvard
conversation-
University with a citation
Or you
that
can
says
first
Harvard
finish our
University is wrong,
conversation that
then
we're
you
having
win the
now.
debate. Otherwise, you lose the debate.
There's no such thing.
Okay?
That's, guys, see what I said? He thinks there's some kind of losing and winning. Debating is not
there
winning or
is.
losing.
You're either
That
wrong
means you're
or you're
ignorant to know
right.
what a debate is in the
So,
first instance.
What
But anyway,
we're going to do
back
is
to
we're
the
going
point.
to read the citation about scientific proof from Harvard University, okay?
Okay, guys,
Here
let's
we
sit
go.
back and listen.
No, Flatzoid, I'm sure your chat needs to hear this as well.
Go on,
right?
I'm waiting.
So just let me read this citation from Harvard University, okay? Here we go. So, for years the media has led the public to believe many erroneous notions regarding science through its endless streams of faulty publications. Those misconceptions of turn have discredited science in its entirety and inspired a culture of doubt and distrust amongst the scientific community and the public. One of the most popular misconceptions about science is the notion of scientific proof, Although it may seem paradoxical, there is no such thing as proof in science, only scientific evidence. In order to establish the difference between the two concepts, it's important to understand what makes science a science. Contrary to popular belief, it is not the idea that it provides ironclad, irrefutable, final proofs for the many phenomena in our natural world. However, science is predicated on the ideas of observation, touch, and replication. In other words, what is seen, heard, touched, and replicated is the source of scientific knowledge. Nevertheless, even if an experiment can be replicated, it does not necessarily prove anything. It only serves as evidence to support a theory. Unlike mathematics, all scientific knowledge is tentative and provisional, and nothing is final. That is from Harvard University. End of discussion.
Okay, now you can get back to the crux of the argument since you've been running away. So,
But no,
now,
this is the crux of the argument.
now-
Does science prove?
Sorry,
That was
Craig.
the crux of the argument,
Why
right?
are you talking over me again? I thought you said I could rebut this after you read your pseudoscientific paper.
But
anyway,
you just said the crux.
Craig,
Get to the crux. Is the crux of the argument?
why are you running from
Is
me?
the crux of the argument? Does science prove? Yes or no? Is that the crux of the argument?
proves hypothesis. Straight. I'm
No,
telling you
is-
now.
Is the crux of the
Craig,
argument? Does science prove? Is that what this is about? Yes or
Science proves hypothesis. Correct. So,
no? Okay, so
Craig,
read what I've just said and tell me there where it says science proves.
can you please get back to what we were talking about before you started bringing obfuscation with the pseudo-scientific paper? Because you just put in.
Sorry. Harvard University is pseudoscience.
Did you just understand what you just read there? They put opinions
Yes.
into there. Do you know what
No,
opinion is?
this
Science
is from
opinionated.
.edu. This is an educational site from a university.
And you think an educational site means not pseudo-scientific?
It's from Harvard University. Talking
I don't
about
care
what
if
science
it's the
is.
king of England that brought it out. If
So
it's
you don't care
pseudo-scientific, it's
about the
pseudo-scientific.
citations from scientific institutions.
Okay, Craig. So can we get back to my point? Then I'll attack. Then I'll show you why it's
I want you to
pseudo-scientific.
say that for everybody to hear, that you don't care about the citations from scientific institutions.
Not if they're
about
pseudo-scientific,
science.
no.
Is that right?
Not if they're pseudo-scientific, no. And I'll explain to you why that's a
Do you
pseudo-scientific
think
paper.
that Harvard University is pseudoscience?
Okay.
There we go, guys.
Craig.
So that's what's going to happen. Flatzoid is now going
see
to
what he's doing,
deny
guys?
the Harvard University citation by claiming it's pseudoscience.
Okay,
This
Craig.
is going to be fun.
Craig, you can send me the link so long so I can get it up. But like I'm saying, so I can go through it word for word and show you why it's pseudoscience. But let's get back to what we were saying before you actually obfuscated to the pseudoscientific paper. So, have you-
Just like your evidence that it's pseudo. If you're going to say it's pseudoscience, I would like you to back up the claim it's pseudoscience.
I will. Don't you worry, because you actually read it out. You didn't actually understand what you read. That's the problem. But anyway,
I understood
back
it very
to-
well.
back
So
to the
specifically,
hypothesis
which
we
part of
had.
it is pseudoscience?
back to the hypothesis we had, Craig. Did you?
No, I'm sorry, we're on to
Did-
the crux of the argument.
did you
we're
have-
talking about scientific
did you
proof
have-
and the citations
Craig,
for that. Can you rebut
Craig,
the scientific
please
proof?
pay attention, Craig. We had
Can you rebut what I've just
we
given?
had
Or,
A, we had A, cause for effect. That's either A or it was B, correct? If we caused A, we saw B. Or if we caused A and we did not see B, then we did not validate it, correct? So you either proving the A, the hypothesis, or proving B, the null. Which one you're telling me is not proven?
But there's nothing there that said you prove it. Not one
Okay.
word says you prove
Okay,
it there.
so you can show me water not boiling when adding heat energy. When you
didn't
add
say that,
heat
nice
energy to
gaslighting.
water, when you add heat energy to water, are you telling me it's not going to boil?
No, but I can disprove
So,
that that's the
can
only
you
cause of it.
always go and redo the actual experiment and always validate that that will always happen?
I can disprove that heat energy is the only cause of water boiling.
You're going against the actual hypothesis. The hypothesis is heat energy transfer causes boil of water. That's it. You making another
Is the-
hypothesis.
is the hypothesis
You
that it
making
always
another
causes it to
hypothesis is not disproving or invalidating that hypothesis because it is always going to stand true.
Unless it's disproved, of course, which it might be in
Okay.
the future.
Please go and show me water not boiling when adding heat energy. Show me this,
Didn't
please.
say that I can. That's a lovely gaslighting once again.
You just said you can't disprove it, so disprove it, please. Because
I didn't
this,
say that I could disprove it. Well, I can
you
disprove
just
that
did.
heat energy is the only reason for water boiling. That's easy.
Again, straw man. You are creating a
Well,
different hypothesis.
It's not a straw man in the slightest. I can
If I
disprove
wanted
that
to
heat
create
energy is the
another
only cause.
hypothesis, if I wanted to create another
I didn't
hypothesis to
create another
prove or
hypothesis. I
disprove,
said
then I
can
would.
disprove.
This is why you ran away, because this tells you no
I'm
matter
here
what
right
you
now.
say, you will always get water to boil when adding heat energy. Therefore, the hypothesis is proven, it's validated, it can never change. It is infalsifiable because it already has been
Absolutely
proven.
wrong.
It's an empirical
100%.
method and it's been proven to
Actually,
happen. No matter
it's
your
wrong.
beliefs, yes,
I
no
can
matter
disprove you
your
right now, right?
beliefs, no matter what other hypothesis you make, you're just creating another hypothesis. Won't
No, I'm not.
invalidate
I
that
can
hypothesis.
disprove that heat energy will make water boil. I can disprove that hypothesis right now. Just put it under pressure, and it won't do it.
Hello, that's a different hypothesis. Remember, my control
No,
variable
no,
was
it's
at
not.
1 atmospheric pressure, Craig.
Yeah. So your hypothesis is at 1 atmospheric pressure. heat
No,
energy
that's
will
not.
make
That's
water
the
boil,
control.
right?
That's not my hypothesis.
Yeah. So if your hypothesis is simply heat energy will make water boil, I can disprove that.
Okay, please put heat energy and show heat energy to water that's not boiling. I'll wait.
Sure, just put it under pressure and it won't happen.
You have to stick to the hypothesis, remember? 1
Yeah,
atmospheric
your
pressure.
hypothesis is what?
Water boiling at 1 atmospheric pressure with heat energy induced.
Right. So your hypothesis is at 1 atmospheric pressure.
That's the control.
Water will
That's-
boil if I apply heat energy.
No. Hypothesis. Heat energy causes water to boil. Control 1 atmospheric
Disproved.
pressure. The hypothesis is heat energy causes. That's the constituent. There's only a cause and effect relationship. I've stated my cause, which is heat energy.
But I can
What is
apply heat energy
what is
to
my
water and
observation?
make it not boil.
Water boils. I have a control to make sure it's controlled, which is 1 atmospheric pressure. That control is not the hypothesis, Craig. It's a constituent
Cool.
of the hypothesis.
Yeah. So I'm saying that I can disprove your hypothesis. Your hypothesis is simply, you've said this several times now, your hypothesis is simply, I apply heat energy to water and water boils. I can disprove that by changing the pressure. Simple
But
as
then
that.
you've changed the control variable. Then you've gone against the hypothesis, therefore not invalidating it. You've created a new hypothesis.
So do you think that science is correlative?
No, it's empirical. It has nothing
Right,
to do with your
all
beliefs.
all you've got right now is a correlation, right?
Is that so?
When the water-
Show me
Thank
water
you,
not
Douglas.
boiling when adding
all
heat
you've got
energy.
right now is a correlation that when the water boils, that does not disprove that
Sorry,
in a
did I say
future
when it
experiment,
boils?
that would not happen.
Did I say when or did I say it will boil? Ow.
Yeah, but that doesn't disprove that in a future experiment that wouldn't happen.
Okay, I'm still waiting for you to disprove the hypothesis that water doesn't boil when adding heat energy.
Cool, change the pressure, done.
The control is 1 atmospheric pressure. Unless you're changing that now, then you're creating a different hypothesis. Therefore, not invalidating that hypothesis. You just
your
created another hypothesis.
Is that at 1 atmospheric pressure, water will boil by applying heat energy. Right, cool, no worries.
So, can you invalidate it?
Maybe in the future.
Please show me.
That's the thing.
So,
No, right now.
Does that
I can't show you
hypothesis
that because
always hold
I
true?
might not, right at this moment, have something that can disprove that. But that doesn't mean that in the future, that might not be disproved. Because
so-
that's what science is. Science is never final.
So you are showing you have an opinion based on a belief
No, it's
system.
not an opinion,
Wait,
that's
no.
science.
Listen to what I'm saying. Because remember, science doesn't care about your beliefs. It's an empirical
I don't have
method.
any beliefs.
It simply proves the hypothesis or the null.
No,
It has been
science doesn't prove
validated.
ever. I've given a citation to show that science.
Listen, I'm going to explain to you why that's pseudoscientific now. You sent me the link, correct?
No.
Okay.
.edu from Harvard is not pseudoscience, no matter what
I'm
you
going
say.
to go through it with you and show you why. But
I
anyway,
mean, apparently
before we
you
move
think
to
you know
that,
more than all of the people that work at Harvard University.
wow, do you think astronomy is science?
Astronomy is definitely science, yes.
There we go. Pseudoscientific, guys. He doesn't even know what science
No,
is.
not in the slightest.
Okay.
Just because you don't
want to
know
test
what
that out? You want to test that
astronomy
out
is
as
and
well,
how
Craig?
it's science doesn't mean that it's pseudoscience.
You want to test that out as well, Craig? Please give me a hypothesis
Sorry?
for astronomy.
We're not talking about that right now.
You just said it's
That's another
scientific.
discussion. I can do that with plenty of them.
You just said it's scientific, so back it up. Where's your claim?
Okay.
Give me a hypothesis for astronomy,
We
please.
could use the discovery of Neptune. That's pretty easy. That involves astronomy and hypothesis and predictions.
What's your IV?
Right. So you haven't even asked me what my hypothesis was.
That's what a hypothesis
yeah.
is. It's your IV.
Or what-
That's what a hypothesis is, Craig.
You haven't even asked me what my observation is to get to the hypothesis. Did you forget about that part of the scientific method, Flatzoid?
You first observe a natural phenomena, which you're saying is
Okay,
what?
cool.
Neptune?
So let's go with my observation. My observation is that when watching the orbit of Uranus, it does something weird every now and then that doesn't quite follow the predictive model. That's an observation, right? Agreed?
Okay, and your IV?
No, I haven't made a hypothesis yet.
That's parts. It's a halfway there. Come on.
No, I've done an observation. I haven't done a hypothesis yet.
Yeah, but you're halfway
so why
there.
do I have an IV if I haven't yet
Remember,
made a
we're
hypothesis?
setting up a scientific method, so the hypothesis is part of it. So your IV?
No, I haven't got to the hypothesis yet. I've only made my observation, which is step one.
Yes,
I haven't
next.
told you my hypothesis
I know,
yet.
next is hypothesis. That's what I'm asking you. What's your IV?
But I haven't told you my hypothesis, so how would I tell you what my IV is?
You said it's doing weird things, so you've observed
Yes.
something happening, effect. So now you need an
That's
IV for
that's
that.
my observation. That's not my hypothesis. That's an observation.
Okay, then move on to your hypothesis, please.
Right. So my hypothesis is that there is a large body causing a gravitational disturbance at a certain point, and that as Uranus gets closer to that gravitational point, it will alter the mechanics of its orbit. The IV would be the position in the sky. The DV would be the change in Uranus's orbit.
That's not an. How are you going to manipulate the IV?
By looking at a different place.
No, but sorry, it's moving all the time. How are you manipulating
Yeah.
it? Sorry, Craig. How are you manipulating? Are you
observe it in
manipulating
different
which?
places, and that is manipulating the position in the sky.
No, it's not. You're just doing another observation. You're not manipulating
Yes,
it. You're
yeah,
observing
yeah,
something.
You are manipulating the position in the sky that this is happening.
Okay.
That you are observing it happening. Right? So this point is happening here, and then this point is happening here. That's manipulated the position of what you are watching. And that's the IV. The position in the sky that it is. The DV is the change in Uranus's orbit.
Sorry to tell you, that's not manipulating. This is the same as
I
me
mean,
going, Craig.
it disagrees with you, of course.
This is the same as me going to a mountain, let's say a volcano, and I see it is active. Now I say, I observe the volcano is active. My IV is saying, if I'm down on the bottom of the mountain, I cannot see inside the lava. Therefore, if I see lava shoot out, I have altered something that will validate the volcano is active.
That's not.
You understand? It's
that's
correlative.
Not what I
You
said,
are making
because that's not what my
what
cause
you
and
just
effect
did.
is.
What you just did with Neptune's extra observation is just correlative.
This
It's
is my cause and effect.
pseudoscientific. You didn't
Because
manipulate
it's the
anything.
position
You
of
made
Uranus's
another-
orbit, right? So wait. The cause, right, of what's happening is the position of Uranus's orbit. And
Sorry, a
the
position
effect
doesn't cause
is
anything.
the movement of that orbit.
So is it the orbit that caused
the
it?
IV and the DV, right?
Was it the
And
orbit that
you don't-
caused it?
Here's the thing that you guys don't understand about science. You don't have to physically go and touch things yourself to manipulate them. The manipulation can simply be the change in parameters. That's it.
Pseudoscience, everybody, you just heard it. Pseudoscience at its finest.
Yes.
Okay, Craig.
No. This is what
Craig?
science says.
Craig? Craig?
This is literally what science says.
Natural science.
There is no physical. You don't have to physically manipulate. The manipulation can be simply a change in parameters. That can be your cause.
So, what is the cause? The orbiting, or the position, or the perspective viewed to it, or the time of day you viewed
Sorry,
it?
say that again?
Or you know that how much different
No,
things
say that
it
you
can be,
I
different
didn't quite catch
causes.
what you said. Could you say that again?
Okay, which cause is it exactly? Because you stated quite a few. What is the actual cause for your effect observed?
I specifically said that my hypothesis was that there's a large body creating a gravitational acceleration.
That's more than one IV. Is it the large
No,
body? Is it large body, or is it gravitation,
no,
or is it position? Which one?
Again, my hypothesis is that there is a large body causing a gravitational disturbance altering the orbit of Uranus. The IV is the position of Uranus within its orbit. The DV is the change in Uranus's orbit.
You just said large body. Now it's the position, and then you said it was. You got 3 or 4 different
I've
IVs
just given
there.
you my hypothesis is that there is a large gravitational body disturbing the orbit of Uranus.
And how
My
are you going to test
independent
that out?
variable
And
is
how are
the
you going to test
position
that out?
of Uranus within its orbit. My dependent variable is the change in Uranus's orbit.
So-
IV, the thing that has changed. DV, the thing that has responded to the change.
Sorry, what did you change exactly, or did you just observe something again?
Yeah, it's you again. In science, you don't have to physically manipulate things
So
yourself.
if you made a hypothesis or not, would that still happen even if you just observed it? Would it still happen even if you did nothing? You just watched it again. Would it still happen?
Probably that.
So that's not manipulating anything, is it, Craig?
But my hypothesis, I've got a hypothesis as to why it is happening.
You never manipulated
I don't know why this
anything,
is so
Craig.
hard.
That's what a
The
hypothesis
observation
is for.
that
Manipulating
Uranus's
the
orbit
IV.
changes, right?
You
when
never
it looks
manipulated
like
it,
shouldn't.
Craig.
Let me just talk you through it again because I know that this is hard for you. Okay, observation. You watch your.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down.
Does something weird. That's strange. My hypothesis. Well, I think there could be a large body creating a gravitational disturbance that is altering the apparent orbit of
Sorry,
Uranus.
can you talk large
What
body?
would be something that changes in this to see if I can test that? Well, Uranus's orbit, whilst it's doing this bit of the orbit, it doesn't change, but when it's doing this bit of the orbit, it does change. So the position of Uranus within its orbit is the independent variable, and the apparent change of Uranus's orbit is the dependent variable.
Okay, sorry.
I don't care if
You said
don't
large
accept that.
body.
That is a hypothesis.
You said
Now,
IV
the
is
prediction
large
would
body.
be the
Now
next
it's
part, right?
position. You said the large body is the IV. Now it's position. Which one is it, Craig?
I didn't say the large body is the IV.
Okay, so the large body's got nothing to do with it. It's its position then.
My hypothesis is that there's a large body disturbing the orbit of Uranus. And the independent variable to check if this is happening, if there is a cause-effect relationship, is the position of Uranus within its orbit, whether it's close to that large gravitational disturbance or not. The dependent variable would be how much Uranus moves, right? That's an IV and a DV. So the next step is to make a prediction. So here's what I do with my prediction. I go, right, well, if my hypothesis says that there is a large gravitational body and within Uranus' orbit, when it approaches that gravitational body, it's going to change. That means that if I predict at this time, at this date, I look in this position of the sky, I will find a planet. That is the prediction. And the experiment, this is a very, very simple experiment, is looking in the sky to see if it's there. Done.
Sorry, again. Large body.
I accept your
No.
apology.
I'm
Don't
trying
worry,
to
I
make it
accept
very
your
clear
apology.
because you're not getting it. Large body accelerates because of a belief of gravitational acceleration. Okay, there we go.
No, that was my
already.
hypothesis, not a belief.
I'm still busy talking. That already shows correlation.
Please don't
No.
gaslight me.
That already shows correlation and a scientific, a pseudo-scientific religion. Now, then you
No,
say,
I have an ID and a
can I
DV.
please finish? Can I finish my
Please don't
statement,
gaslight
Craig?
me.
Can I please finish?
Gaslight me?
Can I
because
please?
I have an ID and a DV. just
Can
like
I
science
finish
says
my
that I do.
statement,
Please,
Craig?
this is
Can I
natural
finish my
experiment.
statement,
So
Craig?
the
Can I
ID
finish
is
my
being
statement,
changed by
please?
nature.
I know this is hard for you to accept, but you must let me finish saying my
It's not.
statement, please. Okay, so
what you're not allowed to do
your
is
large
gaslight
body,
me.
your
okay?
large body, which is correlative based on gravitational acceleration, would have a change in position to something you have observed. Therefore, I observed this happening, correlative, aka I affirmed the consequent. You just begged the question and affirmed the consequent. You were not doing
what's
any
the way? You think
science
the
there. You
scientific
didn't
method is
manipulate
affirming the
anything.
consequence?
Sorry to tell you this, Craig, but you didn't actually manipulate. To
Do
manipulate
you
something,
think
you
that-
physically
do you
have
think
to
that the
manipulate.
scientific
That's what
method is
manipulation
affirming the
means.
consequence?
Physical manipulation.
Seriously, is that what you just said? You just said that the scientific method is affirming the consequence.
No, you didn't use
Everyone
the scientific
heard, right?
method, Craig.
Everybody heard Flatzoid say that the scientific
Wow,
method
nice
is affirming
going.
the consequence.
Why are you misrepresenting me, Craig? You
That's just what
didn't
you
even.
said.
You just didn't. There wasn't a hypothesis you just gave. That's
I
the whole
just
point.
gave you a hypothesis. Whether you think it's a hypothesis or not doesn't change
Where's
the
your
fact that it's a
manipulation, Craig?
hypothesis.
You don't even have one IV there. You cannot pinpoint one IV for me.
No, dude, my IV as to why it is changing position is how close it is to this gravitational disturbance.
So you can take it away further from the gravitational disturbance. That's what you're telling me. So you can manipulate it. You can move it away.
You can observe it at a different point in its orbit, yeah.
That's just making another observation. That's not manipulating anything.
Yeah. Manipulating simply means to change the parameters.
So did you change parameters, or did you just observe again and then
I
make
changed the
correlative
parameters
based?
by looking at it at a different point in the sky. Yes.
So you made a correlation based decision then.
No, I didn't make any correlation. I made a hypothesis. You do understand that a
not
hypothesis is
hypothesis.
an assumption, right?
That is not a hypothesis. That was begging the question
But
based.
you do understand that a hypothesis is an assumption, right? You do understand that, yeah?
Yes, but you require manipulation of the IV, which you didn't do.
Cool.
You
yeah,
just
so
made
my
an.
IV is the position of Uranus in the sky during
Now
its
it's
orbit.
position.
I can manipulate that by weighting.
By weighting. So weighting actually goes and manipulates a position.
But if I weight, has the position changed? Yes or no?
Yes, but even if you didn't weight, it's still going to change.
Thank
Yes or
you.
no?
The position has changed
Craig,
whilst I was waiting,
Craig,
therefore it has been manipulated
Craig,
by weighting.
even if you
Brilliant.
didn't.
That's
Okay,
what we need.
let's do it this way. Let's say I didn't weight. Would it still change?
My hypothesis isn't about me not waiting.
Oh, so it can still change even though you didn't weight. So you didn't manipulate
yeah,
anything. Thank you very much.
All right, so is water going to boil even without you doing it?
If it adds heat energy, because that's the hypothesis still going to happen. That's
Right.
just a straw man,
Right,
by the
so
way.
my thing can happen on its own, but yours can't.
In nature, you see water boiling with heat energy, aka hot springs. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you can wait to see if they boil.
No,
right?
I don't wait to see if they boil. I can literally go and do an experiment physically, manipulating to see the
Oh, you
effect.
can manipulate the hot springs, can you? How can you manipulate the hot springs?
No. You can see. What is your observation? I see water boiling when heat energy is transferred, aka a hot spring. I go to my laboratory, I take a container, I put water in, I add heat energy, it's boiling. What did I do? I validated my hypothesis based on the natural observation I did. I physically manipulated the IV. You cannot do this with what you just said.
My manipulation is just as valid, just by waiting. That also manipulates things.
Waiting does
manipulates
not
the
manipulate
parameters
anything.
within-
Craig?
It manipulates the parameters within the experiment. That's
What
all you need to do.
experiment? You observing something again. You just
Well,
literally observing.
Yeah. And an observation can be an experiment. You know that, right?
An observation can be an experiment. Okay, go give me one example.
my prediction, like I said, would be that if I look at a specific place in the sky at a specific time and
You
place,
said experiment,
then
Craig.
I will find a planet.
You said
my
experiment, not observation.
based on my prediction, would be to look at that place I have predicted.
So correlation based, then it's not experiment, it's not science, then it's pseudoscientific.
No, that is absolutely an experiment. My prediction was that if I look here, it's going to be there. I experimented by looking to see if it was there.
Okay.
And it was.
Let's do it this way. I wake up, I see sun rising. Therefore, my hypothesis is I wait till the next day. If sun rises, I therefore have validated my hypothesis that the sun is physically rising. I see the next day, it physically rising. Is that correlation, is it just correlative, or is it actually science? Because I just waited for it to happen again.
Yeah, so what would your prediction from your hypothesis be?
I waited, therefore sun rose.
No. So
I
your
waited, therefore
prediction
sun
would
rose.
be that you
So,
wait
if I
until the
waited or
next
not, would
day
the sun
and
still
see the
rise?
sunrise.
If I waited
Yeah,
or not,
so
would,
then your experiment
Right.
is that you wait till the next day and the sun rises. Yeah, well
that's
done.
not an
You-
experiment.
You
What did I manipulate?
didn't disprove.
That was just
You waited.
Do you understand it's
Yeah.
correlative? Okay, let's do another one this way. Let's do another one this way.
That is the changing of your parameters.
No, okay, Craig.
Wait,
let's do another one this way, Craig.
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me that time can't be an IV?
It can definitely not. You know, time is just the concept. It can be a control.
Time is literally always, well, not the majority of the time when time's in an experiment, it is the IV.
Okay, give me a hypothesis where time is an IV, please.
Oh, this is one that I do all the time. So, I observed that I like tea when it's a certain strength, right? So, I hypothesize that
I don't even
If
have to
I-
write this down. Yeah, Kieran?
you gonna let me talk? Right, brilliant. So, I hypothesize that the longer I leave a tea bag in my cup, the stronger it's going to be, right?
Okay.
So my prediction would be that if I left it for a longer amount of time, the brew would be stronger, right? So then I do an experiment, and I have 5 cups of tea, and in each of the cups of tea, the only thing I change is the amount of time that the tea bag has been in the cup. I have done an experiment manipulating the time on how much it is brewing. The only thing I changed in each of the experiments was how long the tea bag stayed in the cup.
Okay.
So that means that time was the independent variable, and the dependent variable would be how strong the tea was.
Okay, let's put it this way. Did you put a tea bag in the cup?
Yeah.
If you didn't put the tea bag in the cup, would the tea get stronger?
Oh, because there's no tea bag in the cup.
Great. So, do you understand duration of time? That's because you're given it duration. It's only a control. It's not
Yeah.
an time cannot do
No,
anything.
this
It's
is
not
literally
physical.
an independent variable. That's the thing that I've changed.
You didn't
But
change
my
anything,
experiment,
Craig.
as I said, my experiment was 5 cups of tea, right? The tea bag has gone into all 5 cups of tea. The only thing I change is the amount of time the tea bag is in the cups.
So control.
The independent variable in that case is the time. The dependent variable is how strong it is. The control variable would be the fact that there's a tea bag in the cup.
No, the
Because
control.
that's not changing. That's
Control
not
would be
changing in
the
anything. That's
duration.
the same, right? The only thing that changed is the amount of time that the tea bag was in the cup. That's
No,
the
it's
manipulation.
duration.
How much time?
Okay. How did you manipulate time physically, or did you just have a control of duration?
No, my control was the tea bag being in the cup.
Simply,
My
is
independent
duration.
variable was the
You changed.
amount
Listen,
of time.
you changed the duration of time, or did you change time?
The duration of time. That is
So
what it is. That's what
control.
I mean by time in an experiment.
Okay,
Is
let's
how
say-
much time had passed.
Can you go back in time to when we started the debate and manipulate it, please?
That's a gaslight because I never said I can travel through time. I said I can manipulate the amount of time.
That's
in an
manipulating
experiment.
time.
You
so
love gaslighting,
duration,
don't you?
sorry, is duration of time the same as manipulating time?
Yes, I have manipulated the duration of time in the experiment.
So duration, you cannot get back. You can only keep having further durations.
Yeah, so
Okay,
let me ask
wait,
you,
no,
but
no,
maybe,
no, no, no.
maybe it help if you answer the question. 5 cups of tea, right? The first cup of tea, I leave the tea bag in for 20 seconds. The second one for 25. The third one for 30. The fourth one for 35. And the fifth one, because I'm a psychopath, I left it in for 10 minutes. What is the only thing that I have changed in this experiment?
The control, the duration of time.
Right, so you're saying my independent variable is my control? That's
The
not right.
independent
My
variable was
control
the tea bag.
Is the fact there is a tea bag. A tea bag, the same tea bag, that's not changed. The control can't be something that changes. The time changes, therefore it can't be a control. The time is manipulated. 25 seconds, 30 seconds, 35 seconds, 40 seconds,
Craig,
10 minutes because
Craig,
I'm a psychopath.
Craig,
That is the manipulation.
Craig, can you change the intensity of the tea without having a tea bag in it?
No. That's
So
my
there we
control
go.
variable,
There's your
having a
control.
tea bag in.
I mean, there's your IV. It's a tea bag.
No. Mike, to find out the strength, to get the different amount of strengths, the control is the tea bag because I've not changed that. That's been exactly the same. The only thing I changed was the amount of time the tea bag was in each cup.
No, you changed the duration of
if
time.
something changes,
Listen, you
it
didn't
cannot be a
manipulate
control.
anything, Craig.
Right, Flatzoid, listen. If something changes, it cannot be a control. The point of a control is it does not change. Therefore, the duration of time cannot be a control.
Duration of time cannot be a control. That's exactly
No.
what a control is, because you're giving a new experiment each
So-
time.
so- no,
Listen.
controls-
The
controls is
duration.
something that don't change.
This is how it's
Did the
supposed to be.
duration of time
This is
change,
how
yes or no?
This is how your hypothesis is supposed to be. Cup of tea.
Wait, no, I just asked the question, right? Did the duration of time change, yes or no?
Yes, the control changed.
Right. No, sorry, the controls can't change. The
You
control
just
has to
changed
stay
it.
the
That
same.
was your.
That's the point of being
You
a
did 5
control.
different experiments with different
What?
controls.
No. Again, the control has to stay the same, otherwise it's not a control.
You are putting IV. Your time is always a control variable. Doesn't matter where you go.
No,
Craig. You do know.
it's not. The time is usually an IV.
No, time can only
Again,
be a control.
A control cannot be something that changes, Flatzoid.
Time can only be a
agree with me
control.
That a control cannot change. A control has to be the same from one experiment to the next. Do you agree with that?
If you've put it that way, yes.
Yes, because that's what a control is. A control is something that stays the same, exactly the same, from one experiment to the next, right? So that's not the IV, right? The tea bag is the thing that has stayed the same. The fact that there is one tea bag being put in each cup is the control. The only thing that changes
You know why
in the
that's
experiment,
false.
the one thing that changes in the experiment is the duration of time that tea bag has spent in the cup. Therefore,
No, that's false. That
because
doesn't.
That is the thing that has changed. That is the thing that has
Okay.
caused the dependent variable being the strength of the tea.
Thermodynamics just debunked that. What happens with
Sorry,
duration of
thermodynamics
time?
debunks
Listen,
the tea.
what happens with the duration of time? Heat energy dissipates. So, could that now be the cause why it's getting stronger, or is it still just your duration of time?
Yeah, I'm not changing the heat energy. I am changing the amount of time.
So so heat energy doesn't change with time. That's
No,
what's called the arrow of time.
I'm
Is that
not
what you're stating?
I'm not manipulating the heat energy. I am manipulating.
So
the
how did
amount
you
of
keep that heat
time
energy constant?
in each cup?
How did you keep that heat energy constant in the experiment, Craig?
Well, all 5 of the cups, the heat energy is going to dissipate at the same speed,
Are you sure about that?
right? But my hypothesis was the amount of time
Okay,
that they're
and
spent in there. Just like your hypothesis
and wait.
was about.
Wait.
Just like your hypothesis was to do with water boiling at 1 atmospheric pressure, whereas I can say I can change the pressure and stuff. But,
But
you're
that's just
trying
a
to
new-
do exactly the same thing as me.
That's a straw man.
The only
Anyway,
thing that I have changed in the experiment, the only thing that I have manipulated is the amount of time that tea bag has spent in the cup. And I
Okay.
can say that for 20 seconds, it is this strong. For 30 seconds, it is this strong. For 40 seconds, it is this strong. For 50
Okay,
seconds, it is this
Craig,
strong. All right?
Craig,
whilst
what happens?
that is happening, wait, let me finish. Whilst that is happening, of course, thermodynamics says that the cups will be cooling down. Of course they will. Heat energy is going to be dissipating. That is something that is also a control in all of that, because heat energy is dissipating all of the time. The only thing that I am changing is the amount of time the tea bag has spent in those cups. That's it.
Sorry, but does the first cup that's, let's say, set for 5 minutes, have the same amount of dissipation compared to the one sitting at 10 minutes?
Over time, yes, it will.
Sorry,
Right?
you literally
Regardless
said.
of- regardless of
you
the
said
heat
you
energy,
said your
right,
you said your
regardless of the heat
duration.
energy,
Listen,
the
you,
fact that I have left the tea bags in the tea for longer has made them stronger, and that's my
Okay,
experiment. My
okay.
experiment is to see if I leave a tea bag in it longer, it gets stronger.
okay,
And it does.
You know,
Right?
I'm sorry.
My IV was time, and my DV was the strength.
Okay,
That's it.
Can I debunk this again as well? Because I've been trying to talk. Now, literally, I'm saying the one aspect is the heat energy transference from the 5 minutes to 10 minutes would not be the same because the one will dissipate more. Secondly, what happens if you squeeze that tea bag or just stir the cup? Does it get stronger? Does it get stronger?
You're adding extra things to my experiment.
Oh, no,
I
no,
didn't
no.
put those in
Does
the
it get
experiment.
stronger or not, Craig?
That's not my experiment.
Oh,
my
no.
experiment is to simply
Does
see
it get
if
stronger,
you leave it for
Craig?
longer, it gets stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not my experiment.
Wait, no.
That's
So
not
your
my experiment.
IV,
My experiment
listen,
is to...
your IV
Again,
then, your
that's not
IV,
my...
listen,
Flatzoid, stop.
your IV then is
Flatzoid, stop.
invalid. Your IV is
Flatzoid,
invalid.
stop.
It's disproven. You know
Flatzoid,
why?
stop.
Because tea
can't
will still get
disprove my
stronger
IV.
no matter the duration of time. I can stir the tea, I can squeeze the tea bag, it gets
Yeah,
stronger
those are different
in
hypotheses,
different
right?
durations
Those are-
of time.
right, stop
I
listening.
can
Those are
have
different hypotheses. Your hypothesis in that
Oh,
case
now it's
is
a
that
different
if you squeeze
hypothesis,
the tea bag,
guys.
it makes it stronger. That's a different test.
Ouch.
My test is
It's not a different
simply
test.
the time. That's it.
Sorry,
Right? If
does
you
this-
leave the tea bag longer without touching it, the tea gets stronger. Yes?
That's correlative, that's not science. You're supposed to have
Sorry,
controls for a reason.
That's my IV. My IV is time, and my DV is the amount of strength. Is it true that if I leave the tea bag longer without touching it, the tea gets stronger? Is that true?
You didn't
yes or no?
manipulate anything physical. That's what I'm saying.
Is
You
that true? Yes or no?
based on factors that I just made you disprove
Right.
your hypothesis.
Okay, so
Because you know
I
why?
make my wife-
Because I can
make my wife
squeeze the tea
listen,
bag
I
and
make
it's
my wife at least 10 cups of
instantaneously
tea a day.
stronger,
Right,
Craig.
Flatzoid, hold on, 1 second. Listen, I make my wife about 10 cups of tea a day. I know for a fact the exact amount of time that tea bag has to be in that tea, right? Regardless of what anything else is happening, right? I know the exact amount of time that my wife needs that tea bag to be in that tea to make it appropriate for her to drink.
Okay.
If I leave it too long, it's too strong. If I don't leave it long enough, it's not strong enough.
Okay, and
right?
what do you do if
There
you're in
is-
a
I am not squeezing it. That's
What-
not what
what
I'm
do you-
saying.
sorry?
That's not my experiment. I'm not stirring it. That's not my experiment. My experiment is simply to see if I leave the tea bag in the tea longer, will it be stronger? And the answer is yes.
Okay, what happens if you use cold water, Craig? Will the tea bag require the same amount of time?
Okay, so if I use cold water, right, it will still be the case that the longer the tea bag is in the tea, the stronger it is.
No, but I'm sorry, did you just not say that you have a simple special time for your wife? Let's just say, for instance, say it's 45 seconds, but I mean, who's so psychotic to sit there and actually count 45 seconds for a tea bag? Would you now go against
Wait,
that and
you-
say
you
if it's
don't
cold
count-
water,
Sorry,
it could have exactly the same time?
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Are you married? You are married.
Obviously.
Do you make your wife tea?
Yes, and coffee a lot.
And you don't count how long that tea is
No,
in
because
that
I'm
tea
not
bag?
psychotic. I don't need to. I
You
simply
want to get divorced?
squeeze the bag
Dude,
out and
you need
get
to
the...
sort your tea making out. Seriously.
you can squeeze
Sorry.
the tea bag to make it stronger. The hotter the water, the quicker
Yeah.
it gets stronger,
So
because you know why?
right,
Heat
here's the thing.
energy.
So
You know,
science
heat
testing
energy is
all about
physical.
correlation, though. You know,
You
that,
know,
right?
heat energy is physical, Craig. That's why I brought up
Yeah,
heat
yeah, but
energy
I'm
in the
not
first place.
manipulating the heat energy. The only thing I've changed is the amount of time in each of those tea bags, right?
False. The one that's sitting for 10 minutes has dissipated a lot more heat energy. Therefore, it's much colder than the one that sit for 5 minutes. How did you keep
And
the
did I-
temperatures?
did I leave
How
it for
did you
longer?
keep
Yes or
them?
no?
How did you keep all the temperatures constant, Craig? How did you keep all of them, all the heat energy keeping at a constant?
I didn't, but the
Oh,
dissipation.
you didn't. So it's
of
not a
heat,
valid
thermal
experimentation then,
dissipation
because
is a
it's not
constant.
controlled.
Thermal dissipation is a constant.
No, that's not, because they have different constants to each other. You
So,
just debunked your
five
own
exactly
hypothesis,
same
Craig.
cups, 5 exactly same amounts of water, 5 exactly same tea bags, 5 exactly same perfectly level spoons of sugar. The dissipation of heat energy in each of those cups will be happening at the same rate, right? But that's not my test. My test is to see if I leave it for longer, does it get stronger? And
So?
here's the thing about science testing. It is correlative because you're trying to get the cause and effect relationship, right? There's a correlation there.
Ah, so it's correlative,
Do you
not
agree with
science.
that?
So you just
Do you
proved my
agree?
point that you
Do
brought up
alright, hold on. Do you
pseudoscience
agree
and
that
not
there's a
science.
correlation between the cause and effect.
You just proved my point that what you just made
No,
was
but-
correct.
sorry, I'm
Because
asking
you
you a
know
question.
why?
Do
you know
you
why
agree
time?
that
Listen,
there
Craig.
is a-
This is my whole point.
So I'm asking a specific question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree that there is a correlation between the cause and effect in an experiment?
No.
Sorry, so there is no correlation between the cause and an effect?
No, there's no such thing as correlative behavior with an empirical method. It's either
Sorry,
it's either a cause for the effect or it's not.
That, to make sure, are you saying that in an experiment there is no correlation between the cause and effect?
It's either validated or disproven. There's no correlation between it. Correlation, you know what correlation means?
You do.
Yes.
I
You know
want
what
to say this
correlation
once more
means,
because I need this for a
Craig?
clip for
Craig,
your
do you know what
Versa Idiots
correlation
video.
means?
Could you say that to me, like specifically? Could you say the words? There is no correlation between cause and effect in an experiment. Could you
Not
say
in
that for me?
scientific experiment, no, because it's either validated or disproven. You've
Right,
actually.
no, I want you to say those exact words. Could you just do me that favor?
Sorry,
please,
I
and say,
don't-
in an experiment, there is no correlation between cause and effect. Go on.
Scientific method does not deal with correlation. You trying to strawman or red herring what I say is just dishonest, Craig, because you're trying to obfuscate from the fact you just used
No.
pseudoscience.
I'm not. You just told me straight up, and you just told the 500 odd people watching on my stream that there is no correlation between the cause and effect relationship in science.
Do you know what correlation means, Craig?
According to you,
Craig, quickly pick
according
up,
to you,
pick
the
up correl-
cause has nothing to do with the effect.
please get the definition of correlation, Craig. Quickly bring it up. Show your audience what correlation means, please.
So, I don't need to.
Oh, yes, you do need
anyone
to.
Can just get
Maybe I should do
correlation
it for you.
themselves.
Correlation.
I know, Rumpus, it's fucking hilarious, right?
And this is usually what happens when the guy gets demolished. Then they have to
There's no-
resort to this.
Guys, apparently the
I'm sorry?
IV has nothing to do with the DV. They're not correlated at all.
Sorry. Look, a mutual relationship connection between two or more things. Sorry, what two things are there or more things with the experiment that have correlation?
IV and DV?
No, that's one. That's not two.
Sorry, IV and DV are just one thing. Did you just say that?
No, it's a
Because I just
one
said
connection.
the
This
IV
is
and the
between
DV,
two
and
or
you said, no, that's one thing. Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to I'm going to concede there. But science
You're
is
gonna
not
concede?
correlation based though. Yeah.
There's a lot of correlation in science and testing because there has to be. That's the entire point of you testing Flatzoid, is to find a correlation between a cause and an effect.
Are you saying science is correlative then?
I'm saying that correlation is part of experimentation because you are trying to find the link between a cause and an effect. They are correlated with each other.
Nah. Sorry, because I mean, let's put it this way. If you're saying it's correlative, you are simply begging the question and affirming the consequent. And science doesn't do that.
Well, no, science absolutely deals in assumptions. It has to.
Yeah, but you're actually empirically validating the cause for that assumption. You're not...
Yeah.
You have
By
to
finding
physically,
a correlation between
you
the IV and
physically
the
have to
PD.
go and manipulate it to do that. You're not physically
so I can manipulate
manipulating...
time, I can manipulate the position, both by waiting, you know.
How are you manipulating the position by waiting? Even if you're dead, it's still going to move. Even if you're sleeping, it's still going to move. If you're not waiting, it's still going to move. It's got nothing to do with
I
you.
don't need to physically do it. Just me waiting has manipulated
That's
the parameters
correlative.
within
That's
the
what I'm telling you.
hypothesis
That's why
or
I
the
say it's
experiment.
correlative what you're doing. You affirming the consequence based on begging the question. You have a belief
No.
that
The
if
scientific method is absolutely requiring you to make assumptions. That's not begging the question. That's making an assumption, which you absolutely have to do in science.
Sorry, what did you mean? Let's put it this way. If a bird flies overhead here, let's say a bird flies now. I saw it, it was at 9 o'clock a.m. Tomorrow I stand outside, I see it flies across again. Wednesday, I see it's going to happen again. And I see this happening for a week or two. And I said, okay, I'm going to make a hypothesis now. Tomorrow the bird's going to come and fly over the exact same time because the last 2 weeks I saw that bird fly over exactly the same time. I've waited.
Okay.
I come tomorrow and I saw the bird fly over the exact same time. Did I now beg the question, affirm the consequent? But listen now.
No,
Did
you
I-
didn't. You made a prediction and then you verified that prediction.
And then
That
later,
doesn't
wait, no,
mean
let
that
me
in the
finish.
future,
And then later to
that
find
couldn't
out,
be overthrown.
listen what I'm saying. Later I find out by Jim who sat next to me, he says, you do know that's not the same bird. If you look properly, you'll see this one
You said
has-
it was the same bird, though.
according to me, it looks like the same bird. Anyway,
Well,
to
if
me,
it's not the same bird,
was
then
that
it's not the same, is
correlative
it?
or was that empirical based on science?
Well, it was neither. It wasn't the same bird. You made an error.
Just like you saying, I see the moving because my belief of a orbit.
No, I don't have a belief. We can watch orbits happen.
What's an orbit?
An orbit is something caught in a gravitational well of another body.
And this has been scientifically validated how?
I mean, we send satellites into orbit all the time.
I first said what is an orbit. Now you're trying to bring satellites into Narnia. I want you to tell me how you validated
No,
these
satellites
orbits.
are in orbit. We've scientifically validated orbits exist by experimenting by putting satellites in orbit.
Okay, give me the IV for putting satellites in orbit to validate orbits, please.
Is the satellite in the sky or is it not?
No, that's not what I asked. You said it's science, so do the science of saying satellite in orbit, therefore validating orbit.
So my hypothesis would be that orbits exist, right? Are we saying that's my hypothesis? Yeah.
Did you say so?
Okay. So my prediction would be that if I sent a satellite up at a predictable way, with a tangential speed of x at an altitude of x, that it will orbit the planet. I then do the experiment, and lo and behold, it orbits the planet.
So correlative then, not empirical.
Okay, again, science correlates between cause and effect. You can only show a correlation. You can never prove anything.
Sorry, what did you manipulate there to get that desired result?
Whether the rocket was well, okay, so we could say that there's two things, right? We could send the rocket straight up, or we could send the rocket on a parabolic trajectory to go into orbit.
You see the
right?
problem is your presumed cause is orbit. Your presumed cause is orbit, not satellite.
Here, right? I'm designing an experiment, okay? So
Yeah, but your hypothesis
my
isn't. Your hypothesis, the presumed cause is orbit, correct?
yeah.
So you have to manipulate orbit You're not manipulating orbit. You're putting something to Narnia.
No, you don't. My hypothesis is that satellites can orbit the Earth, right?
No. Your
Or is my hypothesis just that orbits are a thing?
you're proving orbits, not satellites can orbit.
No, you don't prove anything in science. We've gone through that.
Well, validate for you pseudoscientists.
Again, there's no proof.
That's what validation
Did go
means.
through that.
It's the actual definition of it. Empirical means to prove. Validation means to prove. Falsification
empirical doesn't mean
means to prove or
do
disprove.
we need to go through the? Right.
But anyway,
so
like I'm saying, your IV is orbit.
we did,
So how
right,
did
we
you
did what?
manipulate
We did what we
orbit,
did
Craig?
with Harvard. So
How did you manipulate
Oregon
orbit,
State
Craig?
University.
How did you manipulate orbit, Craig?
What else we've got? We've got we've got Scientific American. That's not really.
Now he's ignoring me.
Oregon State.
Craig, your IV is orbit. How did you manipulate orbit to prove the effect?
Oh. Well, I haven't really told you what my hypothesis is. You've just demanded a hypothesis IV on me. I haven't really made a hypothesis.
So are you going to
I
prove
haven't
orbits
got
or
an
not?
IV for you.
Are you going to prove or validate orbits or not?
Right, let's start at the beginning because you seem to be skipping some bits. What would my observation be?
I know, it's yours. You tell me.
Well, no, you're the one that's forced this on me. So what's my observation?
You want to claim orbits exist. You see planets orbiting, so you need to figure out a cause for the orbiting.
Gravity is the cause for the orbit.
Okay, so gravity is your IV then. Is that what you're telling me? For orbits.
I mean, we still haven't got an observation and a hypothesis.
You just
here.
said
You're
gravity.
skipping bits.
You just said gravity is the cause for the orbiting. Those were your words. That's a hypothesis.
Gravity is why things orbit. Yeah, but what? Right. Let's
So that's
start,
the IV.
What is my observation? Is my observation planets going through the sky? Is my observation satellites? What's my observation to start this?
It's your hypothesis. You must tell me. You saying
No,
you trying to prove
you're the
orbiting.
one that's forced this
You
on me.
trying
So
to
you need
validate
to tell me
orbiting.
what my observation is.
You trying to validate orbiting. So it's up to you to tell me how you're going to validate orbiting using science.
So what's my observation?
You're the one that is trying to prove it, not
We're
me.
using the
It's not my
scientific
burden
method,
of
which
proof.
is what you said I have to do. What is my observation?
I don't know. I'm not saying orbiting is real. You're saying it's real. So you're the one that's supposed to prove it. If you can't even set up a hypothesis for it, you cannot tell me it's valid science.
I've done the whole Venus, sorry, not Venus, I've done the whole Uranus-Neptune thing. That kind of showed the orbits are a thing.
Now it's orbiting, but there was no orbit.
I'm not sure what you want my hypothesis to be here. You want my whole hypothesis to be orbits are a thing. Is that right?
Okay, if you want to, orbits are a thing. Okay. So what do you
Right,
observe?
so-
How do you observe orbits?
By watching something.
What are you watching?
If it's orbiting, if it's going in a predictable path, matching the predictions of an orbit.
Okay, and now you're going to set a hypothesis for this?
What would you want the hypothesis to be?
It's
this
your
is
hypothesis.
Your thing, so you tell me the
are
hypothesis.
proving. You're the one trying to prove orbiting, not me. So please carry on.
I'm not
Hypothesis.
prove anything because science doesn't prove anything.
Okay,
so I'm not trying to
validate. Give me
prove
an
anything.
hypothesis so we can validate it, please.
Okay, so again, what do you want the hypothesis to be?
It's not my burden of proof. You are trying to show that orbits exist. Not me, you.
Okay, right. So my hypothesis would be that at different altitudes and okay, my hypothesis would be at a different tangential velocity, an object would orbit the Earth. So my independent variable would be the tangential velocity of something, and the dependent variable would be if it is orbiting the Earth.
Okay, and how are you going to
Because
experiment?
we can manipulate the tangential velocity of something, can't we?
Can you manipulate the tangential velocity of something orbiting? So you already put orbiting into your.
You can put thrusters and stuff on things. That's
No, but you don't understand. You already got orbiting pre-prescribed before you even proved it.
No, I'm saying that if
Tangential
my hypothesis is
velocity?
that if orbits are real, then we will be able to see a predictable path.
What is tangential velocity? Does that require orbiting?
Tangential velocity is a straight line path, and it's why things orbit.
Oh, so it's already saying it's orbiting.
No, a tangential velocity is what causes something to orbit when it's under gravitational acceleration.
Oh, so it's not tangential, it's now gravitational acceleration. That's your IV now, not tangential
Well, gravitational acceleration would be a control variable.
Okay, so it's not tangential, now it's gravitational.
That's a control variable.
How is gravitational acceleration a control variable? How are you going to keep that
Because
a
on
control?
because on Earth the gravitational acceleration is the same. That's not going to change.
Is that so? So it doesn't change at
Yeah.
different latitudes, is that what you're telling me?
The gravitational acceleration is roughly 9.8 all over the world. It changes very slightly.
So it changes
by
then. How's that a control?
0.5% from the equator.
So
to
it's not
the
a control
poles.
then, 'cause it
But
changes.
We're going to say that it's roughly 9.8 meters per second squared, and that's the control variable that something is, under on Earth.
So controls can change then?
The control variable is approximately 9.8 meters per second squared.
Do you understand the problem here? Then you're saying a control variable
No.
can change. Because what happens when you
No, I'm not
change...
saying it's changed.
What happens when you
So,
change altitude?
At a particular place, right, at my latitude, the gravitational acceleration isn't going to change, right? So we're not changing the latitude. We're at one latitude, and the gravitational acceleration at latitude is a specific acceleration.
Okay, so do you have the same gravitational acceleration at the same altitudes across that same latitude?
The gravitational acceleration would reduce slightly as you go.
So it changes again. Thank
but
you.
the
So your control
gravitational
variable has
acceleration
changed again.
The force changes based on the gravitational acceleration.
So your
So-
control has changed again, even at the same latitude then?
So the control variable is the acceleration towards Earth that you are under.
But it changes, so it cannot be a control.
Yeah.
It changes all the time, so you need a new control,
The
please.
fact that acceleration is there never changes.
You just said, in your own words, it changes with altitude.
But the fact the acceleration is there never changes. It's always there. It's always approximately.
So we're not trying to
9.8
choose
meters per
acceleration
square,
because you all know
right?
we all know gravity is not a force, so you cannot have acceleration. But the point here
I
is...
never said it was a force. It creates a force.
That's also what I wanted to ask you, but we'll get to that now. If you're having that as your control and it changes, therefore you cannot use it as a control. You cannot have
Yeah.
your tangential
So,
velocity. I don't know.
to be
I don't
honest,
understand.
mean,
Where's your
you're not
IV?
completely
You
wrong.
keep changing
the
it.
control variable actually can kind of change, but you have to deal with it within your methodology.
No, because a control stays constant right through. That's what a control variable
According to
is.
citations, you're wrong, of course.
A control variable always stays constant. That's what a control variable is, correct?
Actually, as long as you adjust for it within your methodology, and it has the parameters that are staying the same, it's not exactly true.
And you know why I'm saying pseudoscience? Because a control variable
Because
always
you
stays
don't understand
constant.
what science is. I know that. Anyway, so this whole thing has been about whether science proves or not, right? And you still haven't shown me a citation that says that science proves.
I did show you one, and then you laughed and said it's not a university, which was just an appeal to
Oh, yeah, no,
authority.
what
which
you
is just
showed me
wait, which is just
was,
an appeal
a
to
random
authority.
article.
Listen.
When you show a citation, it needs to be from an educational source, not just a random internet article.
I just want to show something to everybody because remember, Craig just made a thing that you can change a control variable. A control variable is a variable in any variable that's held constant in a research study. Therefore, it has to stay constant. It's controlled because it could
within your
influence
methodology.
the outcomes.
If the relationship between the control variable and the other things stay the same, then that's the control variable. I mean, like in thermodynamics, for instance, things are always changing. How do you control something in an experiment regarding thermodynamics? Are you claiming that thermodynamics is something you can't do science on? Because there is nothing that stays
That's a red
the
herring.
same.
That's already. I never said that. I'm simply stating that you said a control variable can change, but we all know control variables always hold constant.
Yeah.
Have you
Within the
managed to send me
methodology,
that
of course.
link yet for that citation for Harvard or something, so I can go through it with you and show you why it's pseudoscientific?
So
Would you send me that
I
link
just want
quickly,
you
please?
to confirm to me. All right, I'm going to send you that link right now. But you
Thanks.
think that you know more than the scientists at Harvard. Is that right?
I say I know when something is pseudoscientific or science.
So
You know
so
mainstream
think that-
you know
you
mainstream
think that
science
the
is
people at Harvard
pseudoscientific.
University. So I just want to clarify that you think that the people Harvard University writing a scientific thing are doing pseudoscience. The people that actually, teach the science.
That's an
and
appeal to
educate
consensus
on the science.
and
You think
authority
they're the
again.
ones doing pseudoscience. So the way that you're going to get around this citation is by you claiming that it's pseudoscience. Is that right?
I'm going to show you how it's pseudoscience. Just send me the thing so I can read it out.
I already
for you.
have done.
Okay, have you sent it to me?
I
Okay,
have, yes.
I'm going to quickly open it. Oh wait, this is actually one I had open already. Can you believe it? I was actually going to present this as my pseudoscientific paper, guys. Let me see if I'm showing. Okay, I'm showing screen. I was going to show that. I think it was. Where was it?
So,
There we go. See, I
what
had
is
it here.
pseudoscience?
Okay.
Can you tell me what pseudoscience is?
We can. Yes, it's when you have a belief system and masquerading it as science.
No, the pseudoscience is something that doesn't follow the scientific method. That's what pseudoscience is.
I'll have to type it out. Pseudoscience, people. A system of theories, assumptions, and methods erroneously regarded as scientific.
Yeah.
So it's a belief masquerading as science. Really weird. Okay, anyway. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's read through it. For years.
That's the one that Nathan always puts up, right? Nathan always puts up that the difference between science and pseudoscience is the scientific method. Isn't that what Nathan Oakley and Sleeping Warrior always
I don't
show?
know. Okay, let's go on to scientific proof. This is from your WordPress Harvard Edu. Okay. For years, the media has led the public to believe, we read that all, erroneous notions regarding science through its endless streams of faulty publications. First of all, science has nothing to do with publications. The peer review is consensus, therefore already going against science. Those misconceptions in turn have discredited science in its entirety and inspired a culture of doubt. Sorry, what has a person's opinion got to do with science? And I thought science was, I keep getting confused as objective or subjective.
Yeah, there's no opinions here. This is just telling you what's happened.
Notions regarding these endless streams of faulty publications. How do you have a faulty publication without having a belief system? And
because it doesn't follow science.
Inspired a culture. That kind of sounds to me like opinions and beliefs. Anyway, of doubt and distrust.
It's showing that it inspired a cult because people come along and say things like science has proof. But
Okay.
again, this
Let's
is
go on.
from a .edu site. So you are claiming that Harvard University is pseudoscience. Well, so far nothing here is pseudoscience.
This is also a contradictory statement, guys. There is no such thing as proof in science, only scientific evidence. What is evidence again? Oh, wait, I showed you guys that. I think it was
Yeah, not proof. It's evidence, not proof.
empirical evidence. This is from
Evidence isn't proof. Evidence
livescience.com.
is evidence.
Livescience.com. Okay, empirical evidence is the information acquired.
Not a .edu site or anything.
Are you telling me livescience.com is now not a proper scientific site?
Yeah, it's not a scientific site. It's just like
Ooh. It's amazing how you guys can,
It's not a .edu site.
It's amazing how you can be very cherry picky when you want to have something to go against.
I always say that citations need to come from .edu sites. So do you have citations from .edu? Actual educational sites, universities, instead of just.
We're still going.
This is the article. What you're showing there. It's the kind of thing that Harvard article was talking about.
Okay, but like I'm saying, we're going through this Harvard to show why it's scientific first. Then we'll get there, okay? So, already they are showing beliefs and what people's opinions are and publications. None of those are scientific to start off with. Okay?
Yeah,
then they have
that's what it's saying. It's saying
contradictory
that the opinion pieces that
Then
people
they
put
have
out aren't scientific.
contradictory
That's what it's
statements.
saying.
Then they have contradictory statements like science doesn't prove, it's only scientific
Because it doesn't,
evidence,
because there's
but
no
the
such thing as
meaning
scientific
of
proof.
evidence.
It's telling you it there.
Stop talking over me. But the meaning of evidence means to prove. Okay,
No,
so
it
in
doesn't.
order to
It means provide evidence for.
Therefore, it is however a distinction made between evidence and proof. Evidence is the data or facts that assist.
Oh my God! There is
Listen,
a distinction
listen.
to be made.
Can you shut up and let me finish?
Stop. Read the first line. Read the first line.
Can you finish it?
No, go on.
What
go
does
on,
this say?
read the first
Evidence
line
can
from
prove a
Flatzoid.
claim.
Don't do it, Flatzoid. Read the first line to me. Read the very first line to me.
Stop cherry picking. Can I finish?
No.
I'm reading the whole thing, Craig.
I'd like you to read. Right, read it then. Read it. And
There
listen to what
is.
it
Can you
fucking
shut
says.
up? This is, however, a distinction to be made between evidence and proof. Okay? This means you must
Yeah.
stop misrepresenting. Evidence is a data or facts that assists us in determining the reality of existence of something. A total collection of evidence can prove a claim. Proof is a
Okay, so where's the
conclusion.
total collection of evidence?
Proof is a
That's the
conclusion.
thing. There
Shut
is
up.
never
Why are you
a
talking over
total
me, Craig?
collection of
Why are you
evidence
talking over me?
because new
Why are you
evidence could
talking
always
over me,
be
Craig? I am
presented.
busy. Why are you talking over me? Proof is a conclusion that a certain fact is true or not. This is evidence.
This is brilliant.
Can
You
prove
just
a claim.
debunked yourself. Right, now let me speak because you
I'm
literally just
still
debunked yourself
busy.
so fucking hard. So hard. A total collection of evidence can prove a claim. Science never claims to have a total collection of evidence.
Oh, really?
Ever.
So, okay, let's go back to the water boiling hypothesis. Did I prove or not prove that water will boil when adding heat energy?
You provided evidence for it.
Wait,
But
no,
it could
is it
be
full
disproved.
evidence?
The thing
Listen,
is, it could
is
be-
that full evidence?
It could be disproved. Listen,
Is
no,
that
let me
full-
answer the question. Let me answer the question. It can be disproved later on because nothing in science is ever final.
You want to take a bet on that?
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
okay,
because
quickly
Harvard
disprove.
scientific
Quickly
wins
prove.
the bet.
Quickly disprove that water boils without heat energy. I mean, please quickly disprove my hypothesis that if you add heat energy, water will not boil.
I said that I could disprove it. That's gaslighting. I'm saying that it could be disproved
just said it 2
later
seconds
on
ago.
down the line because that's what science does.
You just said it 2 seconds ago. So again, Craig, I'm going to hold
I
you up
never
to this
said
claim.
I could disprove it.
I'm going
I
to hold
said
up
that
to this claim.
It could be
You-
wait.
So it
no, you
could
don't get
be.
to gaslight me.
Okay,
You don't
so
get
it's
to
proven
gaslight
then.
me.
So it's
You
proven
never
then.
Said that. Hold on. Let me finish. I never said that I could disprove it. Right? I said that it could be disproved later on down the line.
Okay, so you can disprove my hypothesis about water boiling, please.
Sorry,
It's
did
been
the
how
words
long?
not come out
It's
my
been
mouth
how
just then?
many? Wait, it's been how many years since everybody does this daily boiling water with heat
Maybe
energy?
I'm not speaking English. I could try it in Klingon.
Okay,
No,
I'm
no?
telling
All right,
you-
Okay, I'll try it in English again. So, like,
Craig,
let me do the
Craig,
English for you. Maybe that'll work this
Craig,
time. So, I'm
can
not
you-
saying that I, right now, at this very second, can disprove your hypothesis. But that doesn't mean that at some point later on down the line, me or somebody else couldn't disprove your hypothesis.
again,
Oh,
you know that you cannot disprove a validated hypothesis. Correct.
incorrect.
Incorrect. Okay, go disprove my validated hypothesis, please.
Maybe it could be later on down the line.
Maybe isn't actually disproving it. It's just you making my point. It's validated. It stays
Yeah,
validated.
because science never says it's final. Science can always later on.
Science doesn't
provide
say
other
anything,
evidence that can
Craig.
disprove
Science is a
something,
method.
right?
Science doesn't say
Right
anything.
Now, right now, all you've done is disprove something, right?
What's
But
the
later
antithesis
on
of
down the line,
disprove?
what you have come up with could be disproved.
I
I'm
have-
not saying that I could do it right now. I'm not saying I could do it in 2 years' time. I'm saying that at some point down the line, science could come up with an alternative explanation that better explains what is going on, because science is transitional.
Science is traditional. Oh, sorry.
Yes, this
Can
is
you
the fact.
Can you please go to everybody in the world and tell them, listen here, water doesn't boil with heat energy, because I say
I never
science
said-
doesn't
no,
prove
Please
things.
tell me when I said that.
That's what you're insinuating.
No, it's not. I'm saying that later on down the line, there may be a way to disprove what you are saying.
How are you going to disprove that heat energy does not cause water to boil?
No, because I'm not saying I can do it right now. I'm saying that maybe later on down the line, somebody could disprove it and come up with a better explanation. Later on. Not me, not right now. I have no idea how it could be done. I'm not saying that's the case. But later on, somebody could come up with a better explanation. Because
Can you
that's
please
how
give me an
science
example?
works.
Can you please give me an example where it was scientifically validated that was disproven after it was validated? Make sure it's not pseudoscience, by the way.
Everything is transitional all the time.
Can you give me one example where science has
Not off the top of my-
disproved,
not off the top of
where
my
science
head,
has
no. I can't off the
disproved
top of my head.
a
I'm sorry, I don't
validated
have that
hypothesis?
data. I don't have that data to hand right now. Off the
Go
top
look
of
for
my
it,
head,
it's
I
fine.
can't think
Go look for it,
of
I'll
an
wait.
experiment that people thought was validated and then was later on disproven. I know, right now, I'm sorry, I can't think of that. But that is
So
the
you have
fundamental
basis assertion
basis of
claims then?
science. That is the fundamental basis of science, that everything can be disproven.
So you have
Later
a
on down the
basis
line,
assertion
there
claim.
could be a better explanation.
You have a basis assertion claim then, because I can prove
No, I've got to say,
I
it's not
can
a basis
prove
assertion.
the
I've got
hypothesis is
citations
validated,
for it.
stays validated.
So, again, nothing that I have said is baseless. I have citations for what I have said.
Again,
In fact, do you want to know how many citations I've got? I can count them. I've got 1,
should I point out why they're
2,
also
3,
pseudoscientific
4,
as well,
5,
Craig?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 17 citations up here right now. So not baseless assertions, things that are backed up by scientists and
Okay,
educational establishments like Harvard University, Berkeley University, you know? So unless you think you know science, then all of these educational establishments better. How can you claim that?
sorry, is psychology a science?
Psychology, what's that got to do with anything?
Because this one you gave me, the one reference is psychology, another one is
The one...
The one other
what I gave
reference
you
is,
what I gave you is Harvard
yeah, but the
University
reference
talking
from
about
him,
scientific proof.
maybe you don't read the
That's it.
references through, but the one reference is from a psychology experiments. That already shows it's not. Oh, another one, Darwin caught in evolution. What has evolution got to do with science? Mathematics.
Evolution
What is
is a
mathematical
fact.
proof in
But,
scientific?
yeah,
What has that
that's
got to do with
references.
science, Craig? This whole
mean, there's
paper
lots
is
of references there.
pseudoscientific. I don't care if it's the King of England. If it's
I mean,
pseudoscientific,
you can
it's
say it's
pseudoscientific.
pseudoscientific, but there's nothing there that is pseudoscientific. And again, unless you think you know better than all of the scientists and people that work at Harvard University, you can't claim that that's false.
I just showed
Not
you
just
why
Harvard
it's
University,
pseudoscientific.
not just Harvard University, Berkeley University, Oregon State University, MIT, for fuck's sake. Do you know better than all of these places?
These guys are also talking about how mathematics proves and stuff. Since when is mathematics
Yeah,
science?
Maths proves that's a fact. Like right
since-
now,
oh,
I
really?
can prove to you
Can I-
that 0.999 recurring is exactly the same as 1.
You want me
I
to
can
debunk
prove that to you right
want
now.
me to debunk math proofs quickly?
No,
I have-
proof is where maths.
I'm
maths
going.
is where
I'm going
proof
to
lives.
prove.
That's the thing about proof.
I'm literally going to prove maths does not prove reality. You know why,
But
Craig?
that's what maths is. Maths is where proof lives.
I have one ice pack here, Craig.
You have what,
I
sorry?
want to multiply this ice pack to, let's say, 5 ice
Right.
packs. Mathematically, I'm going to just times it by 4.
Wait, you think if you times something by 4,
Oh no,
you get 5?
sorry, plus by 4.
Yeah, you said times.
It was a misspoke. Plus by 4.
Okay.
So if I take this one
Yeah,
and I plus, look, and I plus by 4, do I have 5 ice bags in reality?
No, because maths isn't saying.
But did I
this is
prove
what
that
reality is.
mathematically?
Maths is providing mathematic
Did I prove that mathematically? Did I prove that mathematically?
Maths is where you find proof. That's where you put your proof. That's where proof in science is from.
Did I prove that mathematically, Craig? Did I prove that mathematically, Craig?
No. What you did was you said.
So 1 plus 4 is not 5.
Reality.
So 1 plus 4 is not 5.
What you said that maths is different to reality, right? But that's not how it works. In maths, I can times 1 by 5 and get 5. That's always going to be true. That is proven that 1 times 5 is 5, right? That's proof, right?
So
and like I said, right. Do you want to have a little bit of fun, right?
Did that, why are you obfuscating it? Did that prove that I had 5 ice packs in my hand now once I proved the maths?
Because ice picks aren't mathematics.
Maths.
Right? But 1 times 5 is still 5.
Listen, this is the problem.
Now,
please listen. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, right. No, just give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Do you want to do some fun with maths?
This guy doesn't want me to
that
finish
will help
talking.
you with the proof. The concept.
Can we just finish can I just finish my point first? Then you can have your fun. But anyway, and it's getting kind of late as well. Anyway, I proved it mathematically that I can have 5 bags. In reality, I still have 1.
Bags aren't maths. Yeah, bags aren't maths. Numbers are maths.
The numbers were proven. Math was proven. But did it change?
Yeah,
but was it proven in reality? Was it proven in reality?
Yeah, but again.
No. It's a yes or no question.
Maths is math, and in maths, no matter what, 1 times 5 is always going to be 5.
Listen,
that is
Craig,
always going to be
Craig,
true. But in reality, I cannot multiply 1 bag to get 5 bags. That's magic.
That's why I said plus. That's why I said plus.
But hold
plus
on. But
4.
if I got 4 more bags, then I would have times that 1 by 5 and got 5 bags in total, right? You can't magically make 5 bags, but if you multiply the amount of bags you have, then you have more bags.
But that's my point.
Is about what's proven, as in 1 times 5 is 5. That is a proof. That's it.
But you understand what I'm trying to explain to you here? You are telling me maths is. Are you saying maths
isn't reality?
So you would agree with me? You'd agree with me then?
Maths provides proof.
You'd agree with me? Maths is then not science.
Maths is the language of science. I agree. Maths isn't science. Maths is what science uses as a language.
So then, why so many .educational edu citations says maths is science? Are you saying they're lying, Greg? Are you saying they're false?
Science.
Just like you accusing me of saying, oh, you're saying it's pseudoscientific. You're going against Harvard. Are you going against mainstream science now? We're saying maths is a science.
Which mainstream science says maths is science?
Okay.
What says that?
Okay. I had it here somewhere. Let me quickly find it. I'm just quickly looking for. I had one here somewhere. Conversation. Branches of science. This is leaveagreed.com. Okay, I don't know. But this is for chemistry and art. They're saying branches of science. Social sciences as well. Definitely not science, guys. There's no such thing as formal sciences. You have one science that is natural science. Just to take it out.
What is that from?
What did Lever Greed You? Whatever. It's an educational site. Anyway.
Yeah. It's not mainstream science.
Oh, wait, look, formal sciences. Formal sciences.
What you're taught at university, what everybody that goes to university is taught, is that maths is the language of science. No one is taught that maths is science because maths is maths. Maths is used in science.
Okay, let me talk. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. Formal sciences is quite a unique area of study in science. As it uses formal systems to produce knowledge and explore the nature of different disciplines ranging from mathematics and logic to computer science and information technology. The most important branches of formal sciences are mathematics, logic, computer science, data science, statistics, system science, artificial intelligence, and information technology. Are any of those science?
Where's that from? Is that a .edu site? You know, who wrote that? Does it come from?
I can get it at more places.
You know, a scholar site. Does it come from a .edu site, or is it just an opinion website like all of these things are that are causing the problems? That's the thing. Is that
Okay, how about-
you and a lot
how
of
about
other
Tennessee
people
Tech?
get all these citations from
Tennessee Tech?
websites that aren't educational.
What
that
about
aren't,
Tennessee Tech?
You know, from scientific establishments, that they're just, you know, opinion websites that people have put up to
Okay,
try
what-
educate
what about
science, but sometimes
Tennessee-
they get it wrong.
What about Tennessee
Any
Tech?
actual scientist, or go to any actual university, ask anyone in the world involved in science, and they tell you that no, maths isn't science, it's the language of science. That's just what we're told. All right, you know, I don't know. I don't think you did, but you didn't go to university and study engineering or physics or anything, did you?
No, I didn't need to.
Right. Right. So when you do, one of the things that you're told is about, you know, the function of maths within science and how important it is. But that maths itself isn't a science. It's just maths. It's a language to, you know, lay out data in the world. It's part of science, absolutely. Maths is, you know, kind of vital within science, but maths isn't a science. And this is just what we're told at university. What everyone in the world is told when they go to university to study physics and engineering or maths or anything relating to statistics or anything. It's that it's a language, and it's as simple as that.
I have so much citations that I can pull up here showing this. Mathematics is currently a science.
Is it from an educational website?
All educational sites. There's so much. If you just type in math is scientific, it brings up a whole bunch.
Yeah, but again, how much of that is from actual
man.
accredited educational sources? And
So
how much
what-
of it is what's causing the problem? Because like this, you know, we've been talking about this article from Harvard, right? And like it says, that it's the erroneous notions and the misconceptions that cause these problems. And these erroneous notions and misconceptions come from the websites that aren't accredited in teaching. They're the ones that cause the problems by not putting the right things out there.
Remember,
when you do the research, you need to actually look for, you know, where it's from. You know,
Tennessee Tech
it's not just
University.
an opinion piece. Is it from an educational establishment?
Tennessee Tech-
Rather than using just Google, go to Google Scholar. That's a better thing to do.
So you're telling me Tennessee Tech education, Tennessee University is false when they say mathematics is the science and study of quality, structure, space, and change?
Quality, structure, space, and change.
Is the science and study of quality?
The maths is involved in that, absolutely.
No, they're saying science. It's science. As far as we saw, it's a branch of science.
Is that a .edu site or?
Yes, it's the University of Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech University.
Right. Okay, so the maths is the language that's in, right? That's what it is. I mean, just go to Google Scholar and look at maths as a language. And that's the, you know, this is kind of an irrelevant thing. Maths is maths, right? Maths is a language to help describe something.
Okay,
It's
great.
involved in science. It has to be.
Okay, great.
But, I
So-
mean, maths isn't a science because you can't experiment on maths. You can't form a hypothesis and a prediction on maths because maths
Yes,
is just
you just
something that
invalidated your whole
provides proof,
hypothesis
right?
of the.
And that's why I wanted to get to the fun bit with you.
So you just
Right.
you concede now then your so-called hypothesis of orbiting with Venus is now not valid.
No, that's valid. Why wouldn't that be valid?
Your statement now just disproved that whole argument that you can use the math.
I didn't use maths
Yes.
in my
you-
hypothesis.
So you didn't have any math in your prediction. You didn't have time. You didn't.
And again, I didn't say you can't use maths in science. Maths is the language of science.
Maths is not the language of science. Math is just math. Please write
and
the
it's
hypothesis
the-
using only math.
It's what science uses as a language to, you know, show data.
Okay.
Maths is simply a language. That's all it is. Maths is a language. It's the language of the universe.
Okay, would you quickly write me a hypothesis just using maths, please?
I couldn't write your hypothesis using maths because I never said that I could.
You just
I said that maths is included in science. You can use maths to provide data and evidence and proofs, but maths isn't. I never said that you could provide a hypothesis just using maths. That's a lovely gaslight.
Okay, you're kind of contradicting yourself all the time. This is my whole point.
I didn't contradict myself once. I never said that thing that you said that I said. I never said that I could perform a hypothesis with maths, because I said that maths
it's a language.
Isn't science, and therefore you can't make an observation.
I'm glad we agree maths isn't science. I agree with you, maths is not science.
Maths is just a language. It's the literal language of the universe.
Great. I agree with you, maths is not science. So when you're trying to evoke maths, then you are just showing you don't have an hypothesis. Hence, when you're saying you are waiting, wait. So hence, when you are waiting for something to
you don't get
happen,
to just gaslight me, right?
That's why when
maths is part of science, right?
Where's maths part of science?
Because you can use maths to provide proofs and data.
Proofs.
And a language.
Now it proves something, people.
Maths is where the proofs are.
So now there's proofs, guys, but there was no proofs before.
No, science doesn't prove anything.
But maths is now science. So if maths can prove, therefore science proves.
Science doesn't prove anything. Maths does.
So you have proofs of math in science. Is that what you're saying?
No, you have mathematical proofs within science, but that's not science proving things. A mathematical proof is something like, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's something that's been proven, right? Pythagoras' theorem, right? That's a mathematical proof. And that can form part of your evidence for science.
Okay, so let's say you're setting up an equation and you are making predictions, right? You're predicting things on that equation. You're just using maths, correct?
An equation for what, though?
Anything, it doesn't matter.
What kind
let's say
of
gravity,
equation?
for instance.
Hyperbolic, quadratic?
It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is you're using an equation to create a hypothesis, correct?
No.
No? So you don't.
I never said that I could do that.
So you don't use equations to create predictions for your science?
I could use an equation within my prediction, yeah.
So, okay, so when, let's say, you have the gravity equation...
You can use it, exclusively, but you can have it as part of your prediction. Maths can be included in any part of the scientific method. It can be part of it, but science isn't maths. Maths is just the language that is used within science. I don't know why this is so hard.
But that's exactly what I'm trying to explain.
This is why I want But the fun.
Okay, can I make my point quickly, Craig?
Is kind of getting.
Because I don't want this to go on forever.
We say that maths is proof.
I don't want this to go on forever. Can I make my point quickly? Just because I don't want to go on forever. Simply, my point is, if you're saying and you're using maths like you trying to use to observe Venus or whatever, make a prediction, it's based on a mathematical model. Now you've made that prediction. I've just proved maths can be described and proved in math, but in reality it does not. So it's not scientific, it's pseudoscience. You evoking, waiting and looking at you have not manipulated anything.
Did you just say, sorry, did you just say maths is pseudoscience?
Yes, if you're using math to make a reality, it's pseudoscience because it's based on a belief.
Okay, so you can't use any maths within science at all, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not, that's a straw man. I'm saying if you're using math as a, how can I put it, as your observation for hypothesis, you have already evoked non-scientific law because it's math can be discredited in reality, just like I've just done now showing you with this one bag.
Yeah, no, you can't discredit maths in reality because you had a false analogy. You were like, well, I can't just multiply this bag to get 5 bags. No one says you can. If you multiply 1 by 5, you get 5. That's a proof that will always be true. No matter what happens, 1 times 5 will always be 5, regardless of what happens. No matter. The universe could explode and come back together. You know, Flatzoid, you could win the Nobel Prize. Never going to happen, but these things could happen, and 1 times 5 will always be 5 because that's a mathematical proof. Right?
Yeah, but
and that's why I wanted to get to the fun bit to show you.
This is what I'm saying now.
What we mean by a mathematical proof.
This is what I'm saying
right?
now.
Because I can prove to you, right? Right, listen, I can prove to you that two numbers are the same number, right? I can prove to you that 0.999 repeating is exactly the same as 1.
Okay, let me put it this way. You believe gravity can hold gas down, correct?
I don't have a belief. I know that gravity exists.
But you have a mathematical model that says it holds it down, correct?
There's a mathematical model that describes it, yes.
Okay, so you've just put all your belief in a mathematical model, hence
I
the
don't
bag.
have a
Listen,
belief.
no, let me
I don't know
finish.
what-
Hence the bag.
Don't gaslight me and say beliefs
Hence
because I don't
the
have
bag.
beliefs.
Listen, hence the bag. In reality, maths does nothing to the gas. Gas will.
No one ever
leave the
says
system.
maths does anything to the gas, but maths can describe what's happening.
But you
to
guys
the
are
gas.
always evoking
What you're doing
math.
right now is strawmanning the
No,
position
you guys
of
are
maths
always
within science.
evoking-
Nobody's saying that maths can physically manipulate anything. No one's saying that maths can do anything. Maths is a descriptor. Maths is a language. Maths can describe what is happening exactly
Okay,
and provide
so-
proofs within maths, but maths doesn't
So what's a string
change
theorist?
anything.
What's a string theorist? Are they scientists?
Theoretical physicists are scientists, yes.
String theorists, so they're scientists.
It's a random question.
Do they work with equations, scientific experiment equations, or do they actually physically go and do equations?
They're theorists, they don't do experiments.
But they do scientific equations and predictions, do they not?
They use a lot of maths proofs to put out theories which are then tested by the experimental physicists.
Okay, show me how
Again,
experimental
they're just
physicists.
using a language to
Show
try
me-
and describe the universe. That's
show
what
me-
they're doing.
show me how a experimental
They're
physicist-
using a language. They're not using maths to try and alter the world. They're not saying that maths can make this happen. They're simply saying, I'm trying to describe the universe using maths.
So,
I'm trying to,
did they-
string theorists in particular, they're trying to describe how the vibrations of energy makes matter come into being. You know, they're trying to mathematically explain that. But that doesn't mean that the maths that they're doing is going to change anything. They're just trying to come up with a description. Like when Newton came up with a description of what was going on. He made an observation and he said that Fg equals gm1m2 over r squared. That doesn't change anything. That's just a description, an observation of what's going on mathematically.
And so you use that description to base your reality, do you not?
Well, no, we would use that to test things.
Ah, okay. And where do you test it?
We would use that, that equation specifically, Fg equals gm1m2 over r squared. We can use that math proof to test hypothesis, to form a prediction. It's part of something. But that doesn't mean that
But
we're saying that is changing anything.
So, I'm sorry,
it's
but-
just a description.
But does that?
Distinct-
But does
like,
that
Let's
description?
talk about your bags for a second.
Sorry,
right?
but is
if
that
you have
description-
one bag, you've got one bag, right? But if you've then got another 4 bags, you times that one bag by 5, and now you've got 5 bags. That doesn't mean your bag magically turned into 5 bags, but you've now got 5 times as many bags, and that's mathematically proof, right?
But you understand what my point I'm getting? That if you're using, let's say, the gravitational equations to make a prediction in space or whatever, how are you validating this? Because you've built your premise
You would
on
an experiment.
You've built your premise on a language that goes against reality, as I've just proven with this
I mean,
bag.
it doesn't
so,
go
so,
against
so,
reality in
how
fact.
do you
But
know?
to
How
answer
do
your
you
question,
know? Can I finish?
simple,
How do
would
you know?
design an
So
experiment to
how
test
do
the
you know?
prediction.
How do you know what you are trying to validate is even reality? Because it was based on a what?
That's the entire point of trying to validate. That's the entire point of doing an experiment. You don't know until you've done the experiment. But
How do you-
mathematical proof will always be a mathematical proof. It's never going to stop being a mathematical proof.
Exactly.
right?
Mathematical
And-
proofs do not prove
so-
reality. That's the whole point. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't prove reality.
right.
And your
Let's
whole
do-
model is based on
Where's my
mathematical
pens?
inferences. That's what your model is based on.
Give me
maths and belief.
Oh, it's a Sharpie. I don't want a Sharpie.
Okay, but anyway, I don't think we
Sorry,
can go on so
I'm
long.
just trying to find a pen. Well, before you go, I want to do
Okay,
one
yeah.
thing with you, which is fun and will help my points about mathematical proof, right?
Okay.
Give me 1 sec.
I can't see you though. Remember.
Right. Okay.
Can you share your
see my
screen on? Can you share your screen on Discord maybe?
Yeah. 1 sec.
Stop streaming quickly. Okay, I'm stopping. But anyway, yeah, while we're waiting for Craig, thank you everybody that's coming here. You guys rock. Yeah, I don't know how I can get it more through to him. I'm trying my best to make it understand, but
Right. Okay. So
yeah. Okay.
can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Right. So this is what I mean by mathematical proof. Okay. I can prove to you that 1
It's freezing.
equals. Oh, it's frozen, is it? Why is it doing that?
I see the sound going up and down. I don't see you though.
Hold on.
But I have to say,
For some reason,
I am
my
enjoying
entire
this
system
stuff.
has frozen up, and I don't know why.
But Craig, in all fairness, I am enjoying this though. Thanks.
Yeah, it's all right. I really want to do this, but my entire system has frozen. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Um, 1 second. It does not want to let me play.
Oh man.
Just give me 1 sec.
No, don't stress. But yeah, like I was saying, Craig, I really am enjoying this. We should maybe do it again
Going on with
sometime.
my technology today.
But I'm happy nobody has the same opinions.
Just had to accidentally end the stream on my side for 1 sec, but
Oh man. Imagine we all had the same opinions, how boring life would be.
thanks for having me on, Flatzoid.
No, thank you.
Do appreciate
I'm enjoying this.
the conversation.
And I can see we're both passionate
Still
about
there?
this.
No, I think my entire computer has crashed.
Oh man. Okay, but we can always do this again sometime. Whatever topic you want, just let me know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, there we go. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to reset my system. I don't know what happened. I think there was a little power cut for a second because everything went dark.
Man. Ooh, I didn't even check when the power's going off again. I hope it's still going to be on just now. So,
What's that all about? Why are they doing that?
they're claiming power outages. We're having a very bad, how can I put it, the load on the system is too much because the backup gens and stuff are all failing everywhere, and so they can't keep the whole of the country running the whole time. So we have about load shedding about 3 times a day. At least it's gone down a bit now. So we're off like 2 hours, on for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and we're off again 2 hours or whatever. But last week and the beginning of this week, it was bad. I mean, I had a time where I only had an hour for a day, where I had power for only an hour.
That's weird.
So very bad. But you see,
Right.
they're very clever though, because every time they restart the system when it goes through the grid, the power peaks. So in other words, it's taking more power and you're paying more electricity at the end of the day. So it's actually very clever.
So they're just trying to get more money out of you whilst not giving you power.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Well, I unfortunately, I think my computer is completely
Oh,
crapped
man.
out all of a sudden, so I'm not going to be able to finish
Oh,
that.
that's fine.
But I do want to go with it helps my point on math proofs. So can I go through it with you in another time?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, then we can do another debate. I really don't mind. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Actually quite cool.
Right. Maybe we could get a couple of actual scientists on to talk as well.
Maybe we can try.
Yeah. But I'm going to leave them out, and I'm going to say thank you to you for having me on. And I'm going to try and sort out whatever's happening on my tech and finish my stream.
100%. Thank you very much. I do appreciate
Right.
it.
No worries. And thank you to Flatzoid's audience for the nasty comments about me. I very much enjoyed reading those during the stream. See you later.
Okay, cheers, Craig. Okay. And that was Craig, everybody. What was your thoughts on that? Wow. I did enjoy that. I did concede on a few things like that, but I still say when it comes to correlation, how I'm trying to explain it, when it comes to when saying correlation, it's not science because you begging the question. That's my way of saying with correlation. But it might just be the way I translate it in my head. So yeah. Glad you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, let's have an after show. You guys want to come into Discord and chat a bit? I am available. Maybe we can do it about a half an hour or so because I'm not sure if the power is going to go off soon. So yeah, if you guys want to hop into in Discord and chat for the after show for about a half an hour, because I don't know if the power's going to go off soon, I would be more than happy to. It's like 12:30, but hey, if I can go to 1 o'clock, 1:30, it's fine. So anybody want to jump in and have some thoughts and yeah, just give your thoughts. It'll be great because I do want to hear some other people's perspective on how it went. Just have to say, debating doesn't go against winning or losing though. It simply just goes on you sharing your logic and argument, and it's for the audience to decide if they take it or not, the knowledge. That's what it's about. So there's no such thing as winning or losing, but in all honesty, I have to say I think we kind of demolished Craig. I think you would agree with me. And he's probably going to say the same thing that side, so it's still just not scientific, because it's objective or subjective. I just keep on getting it confused. Hey Dan the Waterman, good to see you. I must still add moderator. There we go, Dan. Every time I was waiting for you and I couldn't. Oh, even Iron Horse, dude, you rock. Add you moderator as well. Yeah. It's good to see you guys. Really do. Really enjoy you guys coming. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Saying science can't prove is pseudoscience. 38% say yes, no, 58% not so sure, 4%. A whole 192 votes. Wow, that is brilliant. But let me make my closing statement because I actually wanted to do this with Craig. I don't say science proves things. I simply state, and I'm really trying to convey this, science can only prove a hypothesis. That's all it can prove. Hence why if you go and you boil water, you use heat energy, it will boil. No matter what you do at 1 atmospheric temperature, if you go and boil it with using heat energy, it will boil. No matter what, you will not be able to invalidate it because it stays valid. That's what validation means. Falsification, disproof, you have antithesis for that. There's always an A and a B. There's a yin and a yang. So science definitely proves hypotheses. It either proves your hypothesis to be true or it disproves it, which therefore proves your null hypothesis. And that is my closing statement. So yeah. Andrew, again, please go and disprove then the hypothesis that heat energy does not cause water to boil. Go disprove it. I challenge you and any Globers to go out and actually disprove it. Because even Craig could not bring up one validated hypothesis, scientific validated hypothesis. I remember I was very specific, scientific, not pseudoscientific, that was invalidated later on. Rachie, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you guys all for joining. Is there no one that wants to come into Discord? Hey PJ, how you doing? Oh, sorry, I gotta unmute you. Because it's gotta. Why are you muted? Can I unmute you somehow? It's showing you muted.
Hey, no,
oh, it's from your side.
Yeah, I muted myself, yeah. It's because I was flicking back and forth between YouTube and Discord, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, that was going absolutely fantastic, man.
It's good. I'm so happy you could come on.
That was great, absolutely fantastic. It went better than I thought, you know?
Yeah.
Craig was alright, but he was same old, tried to talk over you and things like that, you know? He just won't let you talk.
Yeah, but that's how he is. But to be
very impulsive, and he You can't talk over the top. You just shouldn't want to.
But to be fair, he did catch me on some few things, but it was more like
Yeah.
misrepresenting me, kind of thing. Like I was
Yeah.
saying with the correlative,
Yeah.
how I'm trying to explain it is like that bird flying. According to me, it's proven, but it's not proven based on science. It's correlative. That's how correlation works. You're just begging the question and
yeah.
affirming the consequent. But I don't know how else to get it through to him.
Breaking up a bit. I don't know if it's my signal or what.
Okay, let me try to
Probably
say that
my-
statement again.
It's
How I was trying
probably
to...
my signal.
I think it's
Hold on,
maybe break up on
let me
your
just
side.
come off YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Get
Any-
rid of that. So, because I'm working on the phone, so it's maybe the phone signal.
Maybe, yeah. Anybody else want to
Get
come
rid
in?
of-
You're more than happy to come in and chat a bit. I think I've got about a half an hour or something. We can try. Hopefully the power's not going to go off soon.
Yeah, it'd be good if a few people came in to chat. But I think Michael's gone to bed.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of late. And I mean, I got
Yeah, but
another stream
Michael went to
tomorrow,
bed.
so...
Sorry,
Yeah?
I'm still here. I'm saying Michael went to bed.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he went to bed because Craig was waiting on him, he said. So he was off. Yeah, brilliant. I love that. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, I think the next, if we do have a debate again on the same subject, then I'm going to tell him to bring up all his citations, because we didn't get there yet. And I'm going to point out every single one why it's pseudo-scientific. He doesn't get the
Yeah.
Harvard one is pseudo-scientific because it's based on opinion. There was nothing
Yeah.
there that was systematically empirical. Nothing.
Yeah. That's it. That's definitely right.
That's why when they
Absolutely.
appeal to authority and to consensus and peer review, you just straight away say, listen, yeah, that's not science. Science doesn't
That's what I
talk.
said in the chat to somebody. He's appealing to authority. That's exactly what he was doing, and he always does that. He always does. You know what I mean? Going on about Harvard, yeah, appeal to authority. That's no proof.
And then
You know what
I
mean? That's not
bring
proven.
educational citations up. Then he says, no, that's not in the same class as mine. It's like what? So he can choose the arbiter of choosing what citation is more valid than the others.
Yeah. So do you think he'll come on again?
Yeah, no, probably. Like I said, we did debate a while ago, a long time ago. Then he had to bring on PhD Tony to help him and Team Skeptic, because it was the same problem. He was getting, from every corner, he was just getting demolished. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
I'm surprised
the
that
stream just cut out.
I'm surprised. Sorry.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm saying I'm surprised McToon wasn't there in the background.
you wouldn't know, maybe he had some of those soccer accounts in the back, you don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
McToon
so
is busy bothering me for a debate though.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Now I'm saying McToon is bothering me for a debate though.
Yeah, he is. I've seen him in the comment sections. I've seen him. It was the same as Craig. Craig said you were scared to take him on, and then you took him on. Do you know what I mean? Why would you be scared to take on Craig? Do you know what I mean? You smashed it. You smashed it today. Like you said, he caught you in a few things, but you got him in more. You got him more than that. So I think. I mean, like you said, there's no winners or losers, but I think you got the better
Yeah.
of it. You know.
But you see what I'm also trying to get with him with, let's say, the teabag situation. Why time cannot be an independent variable? Because you physically have to manipulate the independent variable to cause something, and because I can take the actual functions of why the T is getting stronger, physical things. This validates his so-called pseudoscientific hypothesis. Time can only be a control, and that's why when they bring up these citations that time is an independent variable, it's pseudoscience. Because how do you manipulate a man-made construct?
You can't do nothing with time. You can't do nothing with time. Time's that. It's not a physical thing.
Exactly.
It's not something that can be manipulated. You know what I mean?
A manipulation of a variable requires physicality manipulation. They cannot just say I wait because it doesn't change anything. It's correlation based. That's why I said I can wait. The sun is going to rise anyway tomorrow. So I've proven my hypothesis. What the hell?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It doesn't.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if he waits, if he's
Yeah.
dead, if he sleeps. It's still going to happen.
Yeah, of course it is.
So that's correlation based.
That- Right. Yeah. And yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to seeing you get the better of McToon as well.
Yeah, but the problem with McToon is,
Um,
I wonder if I can. I don't know if I can find it here. It's probably gone too far. Where he's like, he's demanding, and then he's telling me what I have to present on the debate as well. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's like, what?
it's your debate, and he's trying to tell you what topics.
No, but not just the topic. He's literally telling me what I must present in the topic. It's like, huh? Who the hell are you to tell me what I must present in a debate? That's not how a debate works.
That's manipulating the results, telling you what to use and what to do. That's not proper. That's not how you do it. You know.
Exactly. So
Can't do that.
I'll definitely debate McToon if he.
That is manipulating the whole situation to be advantageous for him. You know.
Yeah, I'll definitely debate McToon, but then it's going to be on a few rules set, because he has kind of a problem as well where he thinks he's better than someone and he wants to own them. Yes. So yeah. So
He's arrogant. He's very arrogant. Isn't he?
that's why when he brings, and he loves to bring in debates, if you haven't realized, he loves to just kind of bring a I got you kind of thing to someone, which has got nothing to do with the actual debate. And when someone gets caught off guard with it, then all of a sudden he just claims victory.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like bringing calculus up in bringing calculus up in celestial navigation. What the hell has calculus got to do with celestial navigation?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, as far as I know.
Yeah.
That just sounds like ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, tonight was excellent. That was really fantastic.
I'm glad you guys had-
It actually been better than I thought. I
Yeah,
wasn't going to miss it. I was not going to miss it. Definitely not.
But I mean, I don't know how much more clearer I can make it. Validation means proven. Science is empirical, which means you're validating, which means you've proved it. You either prove it or you disprove it. There's no other alternative. That's why if someone says to you science doesn't prove anything, they do not either understand what science method is, or they are pseudoscientists that are trying to push their religion because they know their so-called hypothesis does not hold true.
Yeah, true science proves, of course. I mean, pseudoscience, obviously not.
Yeah, because I haven't got to him yet when I wanted to talk about gravity. Why does gravity keep changing if it was scientifically validated?
Yeah, somebody in the comment section asked me about gravity. He said it's been tested. He says mass attracting mass. It's been proven. No, that only happened because it was manipulated by man. You know? I said if I hung two rocks in the air and just leave them there, and there's no one to manipulate, they will never, ever, ever come together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Never.
Exactly.
So if mass attract. It must, and it's the chicken and the egg thing. So I mean, you need mass for gravity, but you also need gravity to get mass. You know what I mean? But to get the mass.
Yeah.
So it's chicken and egg with that as well. It's just stupid.
Exactly.
Stupid.
I mean, that's why when you saw, when you saw how quick he started changing the argument when I told him, but gravity is not a force, and how do you get acceleration? You see how quickly he wanted to scuttle away from it, because he knew as soon as he's going there, he's going to get in a hole again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you physically need a physical force.
I said in the comment section, gravity can't be tested, and they told me it's been tested. I'm like, that's terrible. That's terrible. You can't tell me that was a test, a proper experiment. You know what I mean? You cannot test gravity. It hasn't been proven. It's just, it's not even a good theory. It's ridiculous. You know, it's just stupid.
I was waiting for him to bring up the Cavendish so-called experiment. And he didn't bring it up.
That's what the guy was going on about to me. That's what he didn't say the Cavendish experiment, but that's what he was going on.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to bring it up though, so I'm going to leave that for the next debate. If he does bring it up, poor guy.
gravity. Yeah, it's just. Do you know? I can't believe I used to believe these things.
But
I
we all
just took
did.
it for granted, you know. I
But we
took
all
it for
believed
granted
it.
that we were on a ball, we were flying through. I did used to think to myself, like, why are the stars in the same place if we're moving? I did used to think things like that. Why are the stars in the same place if we keep moving? You know?
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
yeah,
one,
it's good. It's good.
one,
I'm so glad that, I mean, it's been, when did I start believing in flat Earth? I think it was about 2015,
yeah, so it's a while now.
2015, I think.
So 7
About
years ago.
then. I think a lot of people started believing it about then when it started being a big thing, you know. It was one of them. I mean, a lot of people say that they were, when they first come to flat Earth, it was like a hard thing for them, you know, like cognitive dissonance, and it was like hard for them to go from globe to Earth. Me, it just dropped. The penny dropped, and it was like that is true. No way. It wasn't a big problem for me to change from globe to flat Earth. It just dropped just like that. I was like, that is right, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, I was 100%. It was the same with me. I mean, I just saw it, and then as soon as I realized, it's like, what else is false? You understand? And I just kept going like that, and that's where I am today.
Exactly.
That's why I even have
Exactly.
now, with thanks for Dr. John D, with what is light, because this was actually one of the subjects that Craig wanted to bring up tonight. We didn't even get to it with the light, because Craig wants to prove light is a wave, and I mean,
Yeah.
that whole 2 presentations I showed goes totally against light as a wave. It cannot be. It's impossible.
Yeah, of course. It's light is a funny thing though. What the hell is it? You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
So yeah.
God, it's one of them things that I don't know if we'll ever find the answer to. You know, it's like, what is the moon and what is the sun? You know, it's like, are they holographic? Are they? They're not. I don't believe they're solid. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe you could stand on the moon. I don't believe you could. Do you know what I mean? And I certainly. I certainly don't believe that people went there. I don't believe you can get there. I think it's impossible to get there. No, because I don't know. I think I think with the moon, I think it's like a personal thing. Like it's your personal hologram, isn't it? Like wherever you move, it's independent to you. It's you. Do you know what I mean? Everybody can see the moon and the sun from where they are. I can see it from where I am. Do you know what I mean? It's and I think if you tried to go closer to it, it would keep moving. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's one of them funny things.
Yeah.
It makes you think a lot, you know. But you can't put it into words because it hasn't been done. You know what I mean? We just can speculate. It'd be nice to find out, but will we ever find out? I don't know. You know?
You see, like Professor
But I do
Fulbal
believe
now.
it's got to be a stop. Sorry.
So like Professor Fulbal now, light has wave properties.
Yeah.
Where have we observed light to have wave properties? I mean, you were there watching the actual presentations with demonstration after demonstration after demonstration, saying there's no interference of light, there's no wave properties of light.
Aye.
You can shine light onto each other, it does nothing to each other. You can shine them at the same slit together, it does nothing to it. It totally goes against interferometry with a ring laser gyro. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm not sure if the power is going to go off now at 1 o'clock, which is 6 minutes away. So if it does go off, you guys, if it just goes dead, you know why.
Absolutely. I know. Is it ever going to be sorted, that electric thing? What's going on with it? What's happening?
They just keep changing the phases. Then they put it at the lower phase that we stay on longer. Then they put it at a higher phase where it's off. It just keeps phasing that way around. But their plans apparently is they're changing all the heads around South Africa with it. I think they're changing like 13 positions. And like that's going to change anything to the actual power outage. And then they're going to increase the tariff by 35% or something they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so they're just,
Oh my God.
it's just a money making thing, that's all.
Yeah, that's it. It is. Absolutely. But yeah, that's crazy. It's a fortune just to pay bills nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fortune. I seen that little video you put out earlier about it was no comments and all that merch stuff, and I love that flat earth hoodie. I'm gonna get one when I've got some money. I'm getting it. Love it.
Yeah.
Have you got them in extra large?
Yeah, they have all different sizes and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, they.
Because I'm extra large at the minute. I'm still trying to trim down. I put on weight over the COVID period. You know what I mean? Over that 2 years.
Yeah. I want to
I've
get
lost
myself a
bit, but
cap.
I've still got to
Yeah, I want to just get myself a cap and a mug.
lose another bit. But yeah, extra large. We do extra large. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's cool. It's an online shop, so as soon as you order and stuff, then they actually ship it to your doorstep, as far as I know.
Yeah, cool. I'll get it. I might actually get it on Friday. I'll also join your channel on Friday. I'll be
Oh,
a
man.
member on Friday.
Oh, that'd be great. Thanks. I really do appreciate
Got
it.
to do that on Friday. It'll be
Yeah, no.
no problem. I'm definitely doing that anyway. It's just that I ain't got no money at the minute. But Friday I'll be paid. And
if you don't
I'll be all right. So
Big
I'm gonna
PJ?
join. And I want one of them. I definitely want one of them hoodies. They're really nice.
PJ?
I want people to know I'm a flat earther. But the thing is,
Exactly.
oh God, I get in so much arguments with people. You know, they start to stress me out, and I try, and I say, well, think logically, please. Look, how can this happen? You know and it's just like, well, what about gravity and stuff like that? I'm like, can you test it? Have you ever proven it? And they laugh at me as though I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But when
And
you
I'm
take
not,
them,
because I'm quite intelligent, but it's just crazy. I get so passionate about it. That's why, like, if I learned how to debate, I might
yeah, if you
be a
take them
bit
just
bad
down to
because
the basics.
I get riled up a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but if you just take them
Sorry?
down, if you just take them down to the basics, then they will actually start seeing. You'll see there'll be like little ticks going on in their head. Obviously, in the beginning, they're going to be like trying to laugh it off and stuff. But a lot of the normal people I've spoken to about it like that, it's like they go away thinking about it. It's because it turns over a switch that they never thought about.
Exactly. I mean, even the simple thing like the boats over the horizon. That's what first did it for me. When I first seen it, the boats over the horizon. You get a telescope and they come back into view. And people always say that about the boats. Boats go over the horizon. You see them go over the horizon. They always say it. And I said, well, get a pair of binoculars, look, and I bet it comes back into view. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. It's easily tested.
Yeah.
Even just looking at the horizon, you don't see any bend whatsoever. If you took a picture of it, it would be and had a horizontal line. It'd be parallel all the way. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's like, yeah, the world's too big. The world's so big that you can't see the curve.
But curve is very selective if you haven't realized. It only peeks its head when it wants to.
Yeah. But yeah, I have had one friend that managed to turn into a flat earther. He won't admit it to his friends in that, but yeah, he knows now. He's like, yeah, he started questioning things like distance to the sun. He says, well, how does science know the distance to the sun if there's nobody actually been to that point? You can't triangulate it because there's no 2 points, is that? And, do you know what I mean? To find it. And he started questioning that, so that's what kind of made it
also
come
why
to
I
it. So, but he won't tell his friends that he's a flat earther. He won't tell his friends that he's dubious about globe.
But that's
Do you
why
know
I
what mean?
also laugh at when the guys bring up, oh, but we shoot radio waves we pick it up with the radar to the sun, and then you tell them that the sun's a black body. How is it actually bouncing anything back off? It's supposed to be absorbing the radio waves then, because you claim it to be a black body. It's like, what? They don't think about that part, do they?
No, exactly. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, brilliant, man. But,
I'm actually bushed. I'm kind of tired. At least there's going to be another...
Yeah, well, you did well tonight, so you should be tired. It's about 3 hours. 3 hours. It's midnight now, so that's 3 hours worth.
Yeah, by me it's 1 a.m. now. It's exactly 1 a.m.
And you were on Ballbusters. And you were on Ballbusters before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes there. But I'm definitely gonna download it for Monday to listen to what QN them had to say.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't get this. I mean, I know there's differences between different flat Earther groups now, but I think we should be coming together,
100% agree.
not like fighting. Do you know what I mean? I mean, yes, I understand that some people believe in ether, some people don't. I had mixed feelings for a while. I used to think, well, maybe there is ether. When I watched this program, I can't remember what it's called, but it was a big series of program, and at the end, the result was that the moon it's got our reflected map on it.
Oh yeah, I
but
remember that.
backwards.
It's
I
like
can't
an
remember who
X-ray.
did it. No, the shapes on the moon is actually the shape of us on the Earth.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like they called it X-ray moon or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that.
Blooming name.
I actually,
Can't remember.
I was
But
actually debated.
There were seven programs of it on YouTube, but I don't think they're there anymore.
I
think they've
actually-
gone somewhere else.
I
But that was interesting.
Yeah, I actually debated that exact topic with flat earthers, and when that came out,
Yeah.
I was debating them telling
Yeah.
them because they're saying it's like X-ray moon, and you're like, okay, how's your logical
Yeah.
thought if you say I can see the moon in the day? How does the X-ray work?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's like what?
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So I was back and forth with ether. I mean, I don't believe in ether now. Do you know what I mean? That's not. I didn't know if I believed in it before. It was just one of them things that went through my mind. I wasn't sure. Do you know what I mean? It sounded good. It sounds good, you know. But I don't know. But I think, and I don't.
Okay, look, I don't have a problem.
Busters, the guys in there, they believe in like electromagnet. We're drawn to the earth through static electricity or whatever. Do you know what I mean? As well as relativity, buoyancy, isn't it? Something like that. I'm not sure where I am in that either. You know,
look,
but it's one of them.
I don't
I
have,
think we should stick together instead of fighting between each other. But you know,
Yeah. I don't have a problem.
People.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the people believing in the ether and stuff. It's their beliefs. I respect them for that.
Yeah.
But the problem comes
Absolutely.
when they try and say, okay, it's the ether. It is just that it has to be, and they're evoking false equivalences like electromagnetism and all that stuff. When you have to say to them, listen, you're inducing electromagnetism. It's not literally self-induced in a way. And then they come and say like bumblebees and stuff. It's just them making assumptions again. Show me a bumblebee actually creating electromagnetic field.
Exactly. I mean, like some globalists they believe is that there's a downward bias. I mean, yes, we do fall down, but not everything does. Helium doesn't. That goes up. You know what I mean? So, we do fall down, but I don't believe it's a downward bias. I just believe how it is.
It's very
I
simple.
believe that's how it's made. The Earth was made, and then there's air, and it's just how it is. That's up, that's down. Do you know what I mean? So.
Think about it this way.
We're here down. If you go up, then whatever goes up must come down. You know what I mean?
Think about it
I
this way.
don't believe there's a downward bias. I just believe that's how it is. That's how God made it.
Yeah,
you know? We are heavier and denser than the air around us, and that's why we fall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I believe anyway. You know.
Yeah, PJ, you see, everything is unreality. There's every single thing that has matter has pressure. It's a pressure. We pressure. Everything is pressure. So if something has more pressure, it's denser. It's more compact. It's got more pressure of itself, so it's denser. So if it's logical. So if you have something that's got more pressure, and it's denser than something that's got less pressure, it does not have enough pressure to support it to be able to push it back, to hold it up. So obviously, where is it going to go? It's going to go to the next point that can support it on its pressure-based relativity. That's all. There's no bias down or up or anything. In reality, we see something that's got more pressure is denser. Full stop. Where is it? It's natural. Where is its natural tendency? At the foundations.
Yeah.
That's reality.
Yeah. Absolutely. I believe that. I'm on accord with that. Definitely. But I'm not sure about this electromagnetism and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I'm still a bit. I would still like to know how tides work. You know what I mean? Because we used to believe the moon controlled the tides, didn't we? That's total bollocks. That's, the moon doesn't do that. I would like to know how the tides actually work. It'd be good to know how they work. Whether that's electromagnetism or not, I do not know.
I have a video on my channel, I don't know if you checked it, where I try to explain it with a demonstration in a fish tank. I'm not saying it's exactly.
That was last year. Was that last year?
Yeah, I think so. I want to do it again, but like I was saying, I'm not saying that's exactly how it works. That's just my thoughts on how it could work.
Right, that'd be cool. I think I might have seen it, but I'll go and look for that and watch it again tomorrow. Get sleep tonight. I'll watch that tomorrow. Have you got a show tomorrow? Or
yeah, I got a show tomorrow night again. Yeah.
Excellent, brilliant. Doing well, you know. There was about 50 odd people in chat.
At a stage, it was on 70. I think I saw 72 at a stage.
Oh, when you did it?
Yeah,
hell, that's
the
good.
first time
When
ever.
it was just at one point I clocked it was 50, but yeah, that's good. 70, that's brilliant, man.
Yeah, I was really excited. But like I said, it's you guys that are making this possible. You guys are growing the channel.
Yeah. But Flats, you're a good guy. You're a good guy, man. And in the comments when people are attacking you, I have to defend you all the time. It's like you can't. They just seem to gang up on you. All the flat earthers, all the globers just seem to come in and just attack you and to surround you and start attacking you.
Yeah.
And that's why when I'm in comments and I see that, I'm like, oh my God, he's still going on about these missing frames that happened nearly 3 years ago.
But no, I like the missing frames.
Desperate.
But you know why I like them bringing up the missing frames? It's showing how stupid they are, because the logical argument here, simple. I removed inferior mirage from the video. I showed the whole all the frames in the whole video, but on a certain point I removed the inferior mirage. Them claiming me removing the inferior mirage is taking away their Earth curve, is them conceding their Earth curve is not physical, it's an inferior mirage. And they don't get that.
Exactly.
They don't get that.
Exactly.
It's really...
do you know, it just doesn't seem to compute in their minds, does it? It just like, it doesn't get through. We also be just like, yeah, that's logical, that seems right, you know what I mean? But with them, it's like, they're stuck in what they've been indoctrinated by, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're stuck. Yeah, it's like, what I learned at school, I just chuck it out the window. It's like, it's useless, absolutely useless.
Yeah.
History, I don't believe a thing about, they might get a basic outline of history, but history is written by the winners, isn't it? So it's probably exaggerated, manipulated, do you know what I mean? Things like that. So, yeah. The only thing it was good in school, I suppose, was learning maths and English. I suppose that was the only useful thing, you know?
Yeah, but what do you actually use today that you learned in school? I don't actually...
Sorry?
I can't actually think of really much I use today in everyday life than I learned in school.
No, nothing at all, apart from maths and English, because you...
Yeah, those basics.
You talk and stuff like that.
But there's also just a limit to what you use.
I like literature because I like words and I like writing and stuff. I like playing with words and stuff. But yeah, what I learned in school is like, I've never ever used it at all. You're right, absolutely right.
Would it be fine if we can
used it
close
at
off?
all.
I'm getting kind of tired now. If that's fine with you, PJ.
All right, good night. That was brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. And I'll see you tomorrow night, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in. Really do appreciate the chat.
No problem. No problem, man. And like I said, I'll join in Friday, and I'm going to buy one of them tops. Brilliant, man.
Thanks,
and I'll
man.
see you
Really
tomorrow.
appreciate it. You rock.
God bless and good
You
night.
too. God bless,
Flats.
PJ. Cheers.
Peace. Sorry.
Yeah.
Night.
Cheers, man.
Night, mate. Good night.
And everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. Really do appreciate you. Sorry, but I'm now bushed. I am very tired. You guys rock. I really do appreciate all your support. Thank you all for coming. Take care. I'm definitely going to hit the hay now. Yeah. So, what can I say? Thank you all for coming. Till tomorrow night. God bless.